Welcome back to Hillard Howard Field, a Hamley Complex. Joe Kinzer, Rick Bentley with you. You just heard comments from Coach Al Holland Jr., the second to three consecutive Thursday night football games. And Ricky B, I tell you, Livingstone, the Blue Bears from Salisbury, North Carolina, Division II. They've lost 18 of their last 20 games, but they have advantages over UPIKE because of the division that they do play in, and they have several transfers from Division I schools and other places, and they have a lot of guys, especially back on the defensive side of the football. So although they haven't really had the success over the years, it's a new year with new players.
Yeah, I mean, you never know what's going to happen, Joe, how it's going to work out. But we do know that we are about 4 minutes away from kicking off here. And so one of these teams is going to win this football game, and it could very easily be the one that's the most hungry, Joe.
I talked to Taryn Brown. Out for the year, preseason All-American, and he had successful surgery. And I told him, I said, I'm not saying this to make you feel better. I said, I went to college with the man, but I said, dude, when you made that second interception, got hurt on, I said, you look like the freak. You look like Randy Moss. You look like the antenna receiver. You went up. And he says, I appreciate that. I know he's done it for the year, but hopefully he'll get that extra year back. Right. Bradley Cleveland is out this week. He'll return hopefully next week. You get Emmett Kersey back. But, Rick, what do you want to see out of the Bears tonight in your opinion?
Well, I think for one thing, Joe, we need to cut down on the penalties.
Right.
Like there were 18 penalties called here last week, and 12 of them were against us. So that's one thing that, if that straightens up, I think it'll be okay. And I really do think the Bears are going to be okay. We need to see improved passing out of Bowen Smith and that sort of thing. We know that. We got it. So, we'll I think we'll see a different team here, Joe, as they flip the coin down on the field. And the Bears have won the toss, which did not happen last week. So already have things going our way here, Joe. And what happened now is that Livingstone will choose to receive the football. And so the Bears will kick toward what used to be, toward US 23. And, Joe, let me say this before we get started here tonight, because we're the Bears and Livingstone is the Blue Bears. And last week I'm fairly certain that a lot of our listeners were from the Visitor.
Right.
So let me say this. Welcome to our broadcast, and for the next 3 hours, when you hear somebody refer to the Bears, that we're going to be talking about the Pikeville Bears and not Livingstone, so don't take it the wrong way. So,
of course, for the second consecutive week on the depth chart, our opponents will have a freshman quarterback, Miles Hayes, 6'3", has size, 220-pound freshman. Up front, Rick, they got some beef. At the left guard, Jason Monroe II, a redshirt freshman, 6'7", 347. Also, they're going to have Mapalua Sabanja, a 6'1", 296-pound sophomore. So, then they have almost a 300-pounder at the right guard position, Deontay Fox. He's a junior. So, Rick, they do have some beef up front on that offensive line.
Yeah, and, Joe, let me tell you, I'm not telling you anything you don't already know. We're both covered in sweat right now. The rain that we had this afternoon has blasted the humidity. It's unbelievable.
It has.
So you have to – another factor that maybe decide who wins this football game, Joe, who has their players on the field in the fourth quarter.
Well, I'm going to be honest with you, okay? This makes – and I have a, 20-ounce, 16-ounce water. This makes my seventh water that I have downed, and we're 45 seconds away before kickoff. That is a great point because last week it was ideal. I thought it felt like late September. Tonight, it's not. The humidity's got to be up over 90%. And like you said, you may have to have some mustard, some IVs for your star players to finish this one.
A case of bananas on the sideline wouldn't be the worst idea in the world. Joseph back deep is Livingstone. Livingstone wears some beautiful uniforms. They're in white tonight, all white. And they have powdered blue, and I guess that's royal blue numbers, white helmets. Bears are in their orange jerseys, white pants, and, of course, they wear those white helmets. We're about set for the kickoff of tonight's football game. And here to call the action for you is the voice of our Bears, Joe Kinzer. The legend of Logan, the Hall of Famer.
Now, you're the Hall of Famer. Gregory Hines II, Also, Alexis Archie due to receive the kickoff.
Xander Phillips is the kicker to this week, Joe.
All right, let's go right to left across your dial. Here we go. Game number 2 of 2018, high end over it kick. It's brought down at the 7, across the 15, trying to cut the
nice
edge,
tackle.
but nice open field tackle at around the 17-yard line.
Joshua Russian, defensive back from McDonough, Georgia, Joe, a freshman on the tackle that time. Nicely, as Gordon Soley used to say, guiding. A leg sweep takedown there to get the Bears started. Well, it would be 1st and 10 from about the 18-yard line.
And instead of the suplex, the souffle.
The souffle.
Oh,
right.
God, I love Gordon Soley. Here we go. 1st down 10, ball at the 17-yard line. Shotgun formation, empty backfield, 4 receivers up to the top. There's a quick screen pass. Too low, it's dropped. 2nd down and 10.
Everett Ransom, a senior from Atlanta, was the intended target there, Joe. And I didn't see which Bear it was on the defense there. It may have been number 46, Jason Jones. Went through with the tackle because he kind of threw it straight across the line. And you know, if the official sees it went backwards in any way, that's a live football.
Same formation. 2nd down, 10, the ball at 17. Screen pass again, breaking out of 1 tackle and getting up to near the 20-yard line. Gain of 3. It'll be 3rd down and 7 now. Coming up for the Bears, the catch made by, I think, DeParis Carter.
Yes.
Right.
Jason Jones in on the tackle, Joe. 3rd down and 7. Bears trying to force a 3 and out to get this game started.
4 wide to the bottom. There's another screen pass behind him. He makes the catch. He's got a block, trying to fight for the 1st down, and he's going to be short.
Yep,
4th down coming up. So they just empty the backfield. They just try to go 4 wide, screen passes. Everett Ransom from Atlanta, Georgia, the 6'2", 195 senior on the yak. 4th down and 1. The ball at the 26-yard line, and their offensive unit's frustrated. They were wanting to go for it. Back deep to receive for the Bears will be Exandre Willis, 153 yards, 2 touchdowns rushing last week.
X is standing at the 41-yard line, so you figure you're going to get good field position here.
That's got to give you a lot of confidence right there. Here comes Tony Akunda as he is the punter.
Delay a game.
13:34 to go in the quarter, no score.
Joe?
Yes, sir.
Was wondering, you pointed out last week that the Bears left a lot of points
8
on the sideline just from the kicking game. And Phillips is listed as the starter, and now Chandler is listed as the starting punter, but not the starting place kicker. But now we're not kicking, we're receiving.
Here comes Akunda. He's going to punt again. High, end over end kick. Brought down at the 40-yard line, breaks out of a tackle, gets across midfield, under the 40, the 35, the 30, down the sideline, inside the 29, and what a block out there on the edge on special teams.
Joe, the sticks aren't going to have to move, just the box. It got right down to what would have been the 1st down marker for Livingstone. X did a great job there, Joe. They got a hit on him. He got a hand down on the ground, but no knee contact. Stayed on his feet right about where he caught the ball at about the 41-yard line and down the field to the 27 of Livingstone. That's where the Bears will take over on offense. Bears come out onto the field with Bowen Smith as the quarterback. Trips to the left. That's the wide side of the field. 1 man wide to the right. That's Artis Clark. And X Willis is in the backfield behind Bowen Smith.
1st down, 10, the ball at the 27-yard line. It looked like it was Seth Napier on that block over there.
Got an official's timeout, and it may be an equipment issue. I said that was Artis Clark out wide, Joe. It was not. It was Devontae Adams, but it's his uniform that they're have an issue with. So he goes off, and
Darian Leslie.
It is Darian Leslie out there.
1st down, 10, the ball to 27-yard line. 3 left, 1 right. Read option, hand off to X, and X is going to be balled up, and he's going to be thrown for a TFL. That's a tackle for loss. In on the play is going to be Curtis Williams, the junior linebacker from Albany, Georgia, transfer from Albany State. So 2nd and 14, the ball at the 31-yard line. We played 3 minutes so far in the first quarter, no score. Duke Ferguson is the slot receiver on the inside at the bottom, twins each way, single back set. Bowen Smith in the gun. Now they're going to look over. You have 10 on the play clock. Clock's now down to 5. It's now down to 3. It's down to 1. They just now got it off. Back to pass. Plenty of time. Airs it out to Darian Leslie. One-on-one. It goes up. He makes the catch and drops it as he fell to the artificial surface.
Boy. That was good defense right there, Joe. Give credit to the defender. I believe that was Raymond Basterro.
Basurdo.
Okay, you're right. Basurdo.
So third down, 14. Substitution now coming in for the Bears, as that's going to be Dylan Whitley out of Richmond, Kentucky.
Yeah, played at Lexington Christian.
All right, here we go. Third down, 14 from the 31. 2 receivers left, 1 receiver up to the top. Whitley's going to be the blocking back, rolling out to the near sideline. Smith squares his shoulders, puts it right on the dime inside the 20.
Oh, no.
And I thought he got a foot in, Duke Ferguson, but they said no. Fourth down coming up.
And this is going to be a 48-yard attempt. I'm going to guess we're going to go for it, Joe. I know it's 4th and 14, but you're not going to punt from your 31.
All right. 12-12 remaining in the quarter. No score. Livingstone, the Blue Bears out of Salisbury, North Carolina.
And, Joe, we're going with the Wildcat format. No, we're not. Bowen Smith is out there. Trips to the 2 men wide to the left, and the tight end is on the left side as well, 1 man wide right.
Ortiz Clark is up top now.
And we haven't called his number yet.
Anthony Brown with that right knee brace. We have a whistle and a timeout. We'll be back. It's Bears football action presented by Appalachian Wireless.
Take it.
4th down, 14. The ball at the 31-yard line of the Blue Bears. 3 wide left, 1 wide to the right. Back to pass, Smith. Plenty of time. Steps up, one-on-one. Ortiz Clark makes the catch. It's a first down. It's a touchdown. He lunged over the goal line. Touchdown, UPIKE.
Joe, we said it last week. Once a possession, every possession, he has to get the football. 31 yards for the score for Ortiz Clark. Bears are on top 6-0, and we're less than 3 minutes into this game. Wasn't a perfect pass, Joe, but when you've got the size and athleticism of Ortiz Clark out there, it'll work.
And here comes the extra point attempt.
Chandler is going to kick this, Joe.
It's down, it's up, and it's going to be good. 12:05 to go in the quarter. Bears on top, 7-0. UPIKE football presented by Appalachian Wireless.
Good deal. 12:05 to play here in quarter number 1. Bears are on top 7-0. Ortiz Clark from Bowen Smith to get the Bears on the scoreboard. Here's Xander Phillips with the kickoff.
And it's a high end-over-end kick. It's going to be brought down at the 13-yard line. Across the 15, now going backwards, now trying to hit the edge. He does, and tripped up across the 20. And on the kickoff return, that was Curtis Brown.
Shannon Cozart on the tackle, Joe, from Knoxville, Tennessee, a redshirt freshman.
Or Gregory Hines II, wrong 21 out there. I was calling.
So Livingstone will start from its own 24-yard line. With 11:56 to play in quarter number 1.
Justin Ruffin's the running back behind their quarterback, Miles Hayes, 6'3 freshman, good size, 220. 1st and 10 at the 24, handoff. He's going to try to get over to the left side. He does. That's going to be pick up of nearly 6 yards on the play.
And the tackle by Cedric Thomas, Joe. He is a freshman defensive back from Liberty Township, Ohio.
They got some big beef up front. They ran behind Jason Monroe II, the left guard, red shirt freshman, 6'7", Rick, 347. 3rd down, 5. The ball to 29-yard line. They're going to run his way again, breaking out of the tackle. There's a first down, and nice strength there by the running back, Justin Ruffin, listed at 210. He carries the defender an extra 2 to 3 yards, and that's rattling the change, the first down.
That defender, Chris Dublin, Joe, a sophomore from Rome, Georgia.
Ball now at the 39, 1st down and 10. 11:18 to go in the quarter, 7-0. UPIKE with the lead. Livingstone with the football. 2 receivers to the near side. There's the handoff again, and hit behind the line of scrimmage, and that is going to be a tackle for loss on the ball carrier.
Got by with one there, Joe. We had hands in that face mask early.
Tyler Little from Clay County High School, the junior in there making the initial tackle for the Bears. Cornelius Jackson out of Louisville in there as well. Second down, 3. Ball at the 37-yard line. Or second down, 13.
Got a whistle, Joe. There's the flag. Late coming out. Illegal substitution. Substitution infraction against Livingstone. That'll back them up 5 more yards. It'll be 2nd and 17 now from about the 32-yard line. Good to see Coach Wells up here, Joe. The new athletics director at the university.
He's working it.
He sure is. He's sweating, showing it too.
Second down long, second down, 17. Ball
Trips.
at the 32-yard line. Rolling out to the near sideline, plenty of time. Good coverage, man behind everyone.
Oh.
It's nearly intercepted. Making the play out there was Josh Green.
A freshman from Palm Harbor, Florida, Joe. Nearly with his first collegiate pick. 3rd and 17 now for the Blue Bears of Livingstone.
But Corey Hall nearly, if that pass is a little bit over, it could be a touchdown because he had the DB beat. 3rd down, 17. 10:24 to go in the quarter, 7-0 UPIKE. Ball at the 32-yard line. High snap. Quarterback's going to keep it himself, and he's going to get up across the 35, maybe near the original line of scrimmage, Rick. 4th down coming up.
Nice tackle out there for the Bears by Cornelius Jackson, Joe, who played at a school that you may or may not have heard of when it comes to football.
Okay.
St. X.
Poplar Level Road.
Louisville, Kentucky.
How in the world did they get beat by DeSales?
I wondered that too.
Under 10 to go in the quarter.
You know what was worse for those players?
What?
They didn't play last week, so they've had 2 weeks to hear that mess.
7-0 UPIKE. Acuna, the punter again. High end over end kick. Willis lets it hit at the 28. And for UPIKE, he didn't turn over.
What?
And I thought it hit somebody at the 27, but somehow it didn't, and it's down at the 24.
If it had bounced in their favor, well, I guess it did bounce in their favor.
Yes,
they
it
should
hit
have
somebody
blown
at the 28.
They should
yeah.
have blown that one dead, and I guess that's where they're going to put it. 9:29 to play in period number 1. Bears on top, 7-0. Getting the ball for the second possession here. The whole team just about huddled around Al Holland Jr. down there, and Willie McLeod, Joe, is in street clothes down here on the sidelines. He had a lot of carries last year. No pads for him today.
First down at 10, the ball to 27, twin receivers to each way. Braxton Whitmore now. We have a penalty flag. It was being trips to the near side.
And it's going to be against UPIKE. Cost them 5 yards. Back them up to the about 22-yard line. Actually closer probably to it is on the 23.
Well, evidently the talk of stupid penalties isn't working.
Hopefully we've cut into them anyway.
I know, but a penalty like that's one too many.
I'm with you on that. No question about it.
First down, 15, the ball back to 23-yard line.
Clock's,
9:18 to go in the quarter.
There you go. Clock's still running. 9:14 to play. 1st and 15 from a 23, and I think they're going to want them to put some time back on the clock. I think that's what we have going here.
Home next week, next Thursday night, Bethel, 6:45 airtime, 7 o'clock kickoff. Ricky B and I will have the call for you.
The Lord willing, we'll be here. 9:28 on the clock, Joe. 14 seconds. So, Joe, this is the way it works here. Paul Hunt's allowed 1 mistake a year in football and 1 mistake a year in basketball. That was it. So
it's not his fault. It's the buttons.
Oh, okay.
That right? It's the buttons, isn't it?
1st and 15. X is in the backfield, lined up behind and off to the side of Bowen Smith.
And here comes the read option. There's the straight hand off to X, and X is just going to wiggle his way. And guess what? He's going to get up across the 25 to about the 26. That's the most miraculous 3 to 4 yard gain that you're going to see.
And the reason he only got that many yards, Joe, is he looked up and saw somebody closing in the gap, and he got down to save his neck. Second and long 10 here. 9 minutes to play in the opening period. Bears on top, 7-zip.
At least they got the penalty yardage back on that one.
Yeah.
3 receivers left, single receiver up top. Bowen Smith is in the shotgun. Claps his hands, read option, throws, circle screen. It was a low throw, making a catch at the 31-yard line.
Alexander Shelton, Joe, that's a name we didn't call last week, a freshman from Hollywood, Florida. So let's get this in, see now we didn't call that name last year, Joe. A 6 foot, 196-pound freshman from Hollywood, Florida, Hollywood Hills High School.
3rd down 7. Twin receivers each way. Single back set.
He may be used to this humidity, Joe. It may not bother him much.
Well, at least the Suns went over the mountain.
Yep.
Still humid. Had her, I don't know if it rained in Pikeville, but it rained in
it did.
Chapmanville and Belfry and Williamson today. 8 to go in the quarter, 7-0 UPIKE. 3rd down, 7, 31-yard line. Back to pass to Smith. Plenty of time. Throws it out there and nearly intercepted, but I think it was actually off Anthony Brown's hands. Closing in on the play very quickly, Rick, however, was Gregory Hines II.
Yeah, the senior from Atlanta, Georgia.
Pass protection's been good from the front offensive line.
Sure has. So Chandler on to kick. 4th and 7 from the 28. You got to figure that they're just going to go ahead and kick this one away, Joe. No funny business is going to happen here.
William Chandler back to punt for UPIKE.
I believe that's Hines back deep, Joe.
High end over end kick. It drives Hines back at the 25-yard line. Good block across the 35. He's boogieing over the 40 and brought down near the 43.
So good field position for Livingstone as they take possession of the football here for the 3rd time in this game. Still more than half the first quarter to play. 7:42 on the fur piece clock, and we will come out. Both teams kind of go straight to the line of scrimmage. 43 defense here for the Bears.
Pistol formation now for the Blue Bears. Man in motion. There's the handoff, nearly a fumble, and getting across the 45-yard line over midfield and being out of bounds. What they did, they put an extra fullback in there, motion. They already have the big size up front. Their left guard, 6'7", 347 Monroe, and that gives them an unbalanced line with the beef.
That's a nice run by Ruffin. Bears got lucky in the sideline. Paid off for them there. 2nd down and 2 to play here, Joe. Ball's right at midfield.
Gain of 8. 2 receivers bunched closely. There's the give over to the left guard again, and that's going to be Ruffin. He's got the gain of 4 down to the 46 of UPIKE, 1st down.
Somebody underneath that pile had him by the ankles and just held on, and I believe that would be, Joe, number 33, Josh Irvin, a redshirt freshman from Johnson Central.
He made a lot of plays last week. A lot of plays last week.
Yes, he did. But I'm going to tell you, Joe, the roster says he's 6'4", and that ain't him.
And here comes the read option, and guess what? The quarterback stumbles down back to the 49-yard line, and that's a play where you can roll an ankle.
Emmett Kersey got by with one there, Joe. He went down and was down when he went in and lowered the shoulder on him. When a quarterback gives it, particularly a quarterback, when they give himself up like that, you got to let it go.
Yeah. Loss of 2, back to the 48, 2nd down 12, under 7 minutes remaining in the quarter. Bears on top, 7-0.
They are in the Bears' end of the field.
3 receivers right, 1 receiver to the left. Rolling out to the near sideline, squaring his shoulder, throwing. Pass is going to be complete to Corey Hall. He's up in it before the 1st down.
Nice tackle by Josh Green from Palm Harbor, Florida, Joe. Came in and took the legs out from under him to keep the gain down to about 6. So they're about halfway to where they need to be, down to the 42-yard line, the 36 will be the first down marker here.
At nose guard, Tyler Little from Clay County High School, 6'1", 255, is in the game at number 98. Third down, 6, the ball at the 42. Back to pass, plenty of time. Stepping up, trying to run, and the ball is going to be loose. He was about 2 yards shy of the first down. They're going to retain possession. Fourth down coming up. And the punting unit was coming on. I'm like, I would be very shocked if they don't go for this.
Little on the tackle there, Joe. Number 98. And they don't really know what they're going to do over there. They're going to keep the offense out. So they are going to go for it here.
Fourth down and 3. The ball to the Bears' 39-yard line. 3 receivers left, 1 receiver right. Back to pass, rolling out to that far side.
Yep.
And getting out of a tackle, and there's a flip of a pass. That's going to be a first down across that far sideline. Everett Ransom is going to be the receiver that makes the catch, but Miles Hayes just breaking out of a tackle, should have been sacked and just improvised.
Emmett Kersey, hopefully, Joe, just learned a lesson. It's college football now. You can't just hit them. You got to wrap them up.
Yeah. He's 220 pounds, Miles Hayes is.
Offset eye now in the backfield for Livingstone.
First down 10, the ball to 28, 5 to go in the quarter, 7-0 Bears. There's the straight handoff, and what a hit by the nose guard. And the linebacker.
Well, the Cole Kidwell was the lineman there, Joe. The guy who may have lowered the boom there, I believe, was Josh Irvin.
Antonio Rustin was the ball carrier. Loss of 1, second 11, the ball to 29. Trips in a bunch to the bottom. 1 receiver up top. UPIKE showing blitz off the edge. It's picked up. Hayes squares his shoulder. Well defended, incomplete.
Nice.
Third and long coming up now for the UPIKE for Livingstone.
Threw into what wound up being double coverage, Joe. Sean Cook was in that area, and the man chasing him down was Tyler Koch. They kind of converged there, and as a result, it's third down and 11 for Livingstone.
DeParis Carter was the intended receiver.
4:22 to play in the first quarter.
7-0 UPIKE. Extra fullback behind the right tackle. Third and 11 from the 29. And here comes the handoff, trying to get out there on the corner. Short pickup. He'll bring another fourth down coming up. And Rick, I tell you what, the fourth down conversions for the defense really has been the weakness of this team over the last 3-4 quarters.
You're exactly right. No question about it. Here's 4th and 9, and they're going to bring on what we're going to presume is the kicking unit, and they're going to try a 45-yard field goal here, Joe. So let's see here.
That's Akunda, soccer style, right-footed kicker, 45 yards. The snap's down, the kick is up. It's plenty long enough, and it is going to be no good. He had the distance from 55, Rick.
Well, he certainly had it from 45. It's just wide left and not by a whole lot. So with 3:36 to play here in quarter number 1, Bears get it back, holding on to that 7-point lead.
He had to that would have been good from 55 if he would have hooked it inside that left upright.
Just thankful it didn't.
So UPIKE on their last offensive series opened up with a legal procedure, put him behind the 8 ball. Braxton Whitmore, the tight end's flankered out as a receiver. 3 receivers left, 1 receiver up top. Ball to 27-yard line. Bowen Smith claps his hands. Back to pass. Steps up. No one open. Whitmore was. He's going to run up top over to 35. Got the first down near the 40-yard line.
That's a nice run that time by Bowen Smith.
And again, that offensive line doing a great job of protecting him.
Yep.
Gain of 12, 1st and 10 at the 39.
Men are stacked 2 down here at the numbers, Joe. That's the wide side of the field, and they're stacked beyond the numbers on the tight side up on the Livingstone sideline.
And here comes the handoff to Dylan Wheatley. And Wheatley's going to get some carries tonight because of the injury of Willie McLeod. Gain of 1 up to the 40, 2nd down and 9.
So
Wheatley, a prolific running back in high school.
Matthew Fields, Joe, a redshirt senior from Hazard High School, running out there to snap the football.
Hazard Middle School here tonight. Some of the guys, glad to have them.
Wesley Neese of Nicholas County High School came off the field.
Back to pass, looking over the middle, and Artis Clark
He hadn't looked
didn't
back.
turn around, wasn't looking, incomplete, 3rd down and 9.
Yep. That's a good call, Joe.
Well, with my new job, when I move next month up north, I'm going to be the northern recruiter for the Bears.
There you go.
Yeah. Might as well keep my alliances where, you know what I'm saying, to the south, but try to cherry pick some players down here from the north. 3rd down 9 from the 40. 3 receivers left, 1 receiver right. Smith back to pass, plenty of time. Now he's going to roll out. Looking, still looking, throwing off the shoulder pads of Anthony Brown, incomplete, but what protection from that line, what coverage from the defensive backs of Livingstone, 4th down, and UPIKE's forced to punt again.
And here does come that punting unit out.
We have 2:24 to go in the quarter. UPIKE has a 7-0 lead. How's classes going for you, Rick, so far?
Oh, yeah, so far so good, Joe. Got to almost have a weekend. And then we have class on Monday, Joe. We're not off for Labor Day.
Really?
Yeah.
That's dedication. They went after the punt that time, and it's going to be a punt. It's going to hit the 29. It's going to take a UPIKE bounce inside the 15. Let it roll, baby. Inside the 10. Keep on rolling to near the 5-yard line before it's down.
That'll help your numbers right there, Joe. If they got down to the 5, that's going to be 55 yards on the punt. And you get credit for an inside the 20, which is a punting stat.
Guess what I saw during 2 high school football games last week?
I thought you were going to say a stack of pizzas downstairs.
I saw a stack of pizzas, but guess what I saw last week on back-to-back consecutive nights?
What's that?
No, on the same night.
So were they back-to-back consecutive? Or
I'm wore out, okay? So I got up at 5 this morning. All right, so the same night, 2 different places, I saw 2 67-yard punts on the artificial surface.
Nice. A lot of rolls or good legs?
Oh, it was a ton of rolls. Ton of rolls. 1st down 10, ball at the 5, 2:09 to go in the quarter. 7-0 UPIKE.
So quarterback is literally standing on the goal line.
And there's the handoff, and nothing there for the running back. It's going to be number 15, Andrew Fairmo. He's a 5'10", 190 junior out of Fayetteville, North Carolina.
That's one of those names there, Joe, that I would be willing to bet you that that's not how you say it, but I have no idea how to say it.
It's close enough. 2nd and 8, at the 7. Unbalanced line to the right. Man in motion. There's the snap. There's the short pass. It's nearly intercepted. Coming over to make the play was Joe Fluker, Knoxville Catholic, freshman, 225.
3rd down, minute 30 to play here in period number 1.
3rd down, 8. What's your thoughts so far, Ricky B?
I like the bounce the Bears have in their step right now, Joe. I like the enthusiasm, and especially I think this defense really came to play tonight.
Empty backfield. They're bunching 3 receivers to the slot, 1 up top. Back to pass, getting out of the pocket, improvising across the 15-yard line.
Oh,
still on his feet is going to be Miles Hayes, and he's going to remove the chains.
I think he hit and bounced.
He did.
But he got credit for it anyway, and that's really all that matters. So 1:21 to play here. It's a 1st down for the Blue Bears. By the way, next Thursday night, only one set of Bears here. Sorry, the Wildcats of Bethel will be in here for a 7 o'clock kick.
Maximum protection, 2 running backs on each side of the quarterback. Here comes the handoff, and nothing there. 2nd and long coming up.
In there, first contact, Joe, goes to number 34, Joe Fluker.
And he tackled his counterpart, number 34, Justin Ruffin.
Yep.
Salisbury, North Carolina.
Yep.
No lie, I had Salisbury steak for supper before I got here.
That's a good call on your part. Let me say that right there. And here's the other thing about Mr. Ruffin. He transferred in from a little school we like to call Appalachian State University.
Boone, North Carolina.
They know how to do it.
Second and
Boone, North
13.
Carolina.
Ball back at the 12. 26 seconds to go in the quarter. And there's the handoff to the near sideline. Nothing there. Another tackle for loss. That time the ball carrier was Marcus Basie Jr.
Yep. He's a senior, even though he's a junior, from Fort Worth, Texas.
Emmett Kersey to tackle. And that's going to be the final play of the quarter. Defense got to get off the field and bring up a 3rd and 15 from the 10. 1 quarter in the books. UPIKE 7. Livingstone nothing. Bears football is presented by Appalachian Wireless.
And welcome back to Hambly. Rick Bentley, Joe Kinzer with you. Bears on top 7-0 over Livingstone. Thank you, sir. They've done that, Joe, with 48 yards of total offense compared to 65 for Livingstone. 14 yards on 4 carries for the Bears. Livingstone with 14 carries for 38 yards. Bears are 2 out of 7 in the air for 34 yards. 4 out of 8 in the air for Livingstone. They have 27 yards there.
I tell you, Bowen Smith, only 2 of 7 passing, but he's had at least, 2 drops? At least, maybe 3.
Yes.
3rd and 15 from the 10. Got to get off the field here, and we have a whistle.
What we got? I was about to say, I was just thinking.
We'll just keep it here.
I was just thinking I need a timeout, so you're going to have to keep it here.
All right, so we'll just keep it here. And again, just going over some of the statistics. Bowen Smith, 2 of 7 passing, 34 yards, the touchdown pass, a 31 to Artis Clark. Tackles so far in the game. Christopher Dublin, Emmett Kersey, Joe Fluker, and Tyler Little each with 3 tackles. Fluker and Little have a tackle and a half for loss. Kersey with a tackle for loss. So far in the game, Livingstone's had the ball for 8 minutes, while UPIKE has had it for 4 minutes. Again, next Thursday night, 7 o'clock, home against the Bethel Wildcats from McKenzie, Tennessee. And then the following week, it's going to be a Saturday game. The Bears will be on the road for the first time in Columbia as they will take on Lindsey Wilson. Teddy Painter and I will have the call of that game for you. They bunched up 3 receivers to the bottom in a stack formation, single receiver to the top, 3rd down, 15 from the 10. Opening play, quarter number 2. UPIKE ahead, 7-0. Miles Hayes is in the gun formation. Back to pass, rolling out to the near side. Throws it up there, and it's going to be incomplete. Nice coverage by UPIKE secondary. That's Cedric Thomas and also Tyler Koch. Koch from Fairdale. They won the Sweet 16 of basketball back in 90 and 91.
Yeah, I covered those, Joe, believe it or not.
Did you really?
Yes, I did. I sure did. Fairdale, not the most beautiful, lovely colors of uniform, color schemes, and I say that from a guy coming from Millard. So, you know.
Right.
Actually, it's kind of similar now that I think about it.
Here comes the punt. It's a high snap. They went after it. High and over end kick. It bounces at the 46, goes across midfield. Extra lets it go, and it's going to cost about 17, 18 yards.
It sure is. If you get over there, Joe, and you just get on that at where it lands, as you say, you saved yourself. You're in the other end of the field. Let's be honest about it here. We're down at our own 37 now. So
should have had the ball at around the 46 in their territory.
Yep.
14:40 to go in a half. UPIKE leading at 7-0.
I'll tell you a guy's going to rest easy tonight, Joe, is Robert K. Wells.
Yes, he will.
He's coming back up the steps right now.
He's the working AD, baby.
He's doing it right now.
All right, 3 ducks in a row down here to the bottom. Single receiver set up to the top. First and 10, 37-yard line. Bowen Smith claps his hands. Read option, hands off to Xandre Willis. Nothing there. Tackle for a loss.
I tell you what, Joe, they're doing a pretty good job of covering the run at this point.
You know, up front they have DeAndre Moore, a 6'3", 310 junior. Also, they have Gerard Lyons, a 6'1", 340 senior.
Well, let me say
got
this.
Beef up front.
I agree with you, but out there in this current formation, they don't have anybody weighing over 300 pounds.
They have Armin Kotz, 6'3", 250 out there. They one of nose guards. Second and 14 at the 33. Same formation. New quarterback in the game. Here comes the quarterback keeper over to 35 across the 40. What a move. There's going to be a first down inside of midfield, all the way down inside the 45-yard line. And that is going to be Trevin Wolford from Cedartown High School in Georgia. 6'5", 200-pounder. And Al Holland Jr. told me on the phone last night you're going to see a wrinkle or two. He remains in the game, Rick. First down to 10 from the 44 of Livingstone.
We're talking about a 6'5", 199-pound quarterback. He came in and ran a couple plays last week, Joe.
3 left, 1 right. There's the snap. Hands off to Xandre Willis. Cuts it upfield. He's inside the 40. He's going to be near another UPIKE first down just inside the 35.
Got a lineman down, Joe, and that's the center, Matthew Fields, and he's holding a wrist, so he is up now and starting off the field. Fields is the redshirt senior from Hazard, 6'1", 300 pounds, and they're bringing him off to the sideline right now, and I do believe we've got a timeout on the field.
13:22 remaining in the half. 7-0 UPIKE Bears football presented by Appalachian Wireless. Here comes the handoff to Xandre Willis, and Willis will have the first down over the center and the right guard. Under 13 to go in the half. UPIKE leading at 7-0.
Not a big gain there, Joe, but all you needed on that particular play. Ball's at the 33-yard line of Livingstone, and we're under the 13-minute mark.
Jordan Owens, slot receiver, down to the bottom. The side of Darian Leslie. Leslie nearly had a touchdown catch in the first quarter. Ball at the 33-yard line of Livingstone. Back to pass, plenty of time, throwing it out there. It's going to be a jump ball, and it's going to be intercepted inside the 10-yard line.
Number 21 on the pick, Joe. That's Gregory Hines II. I wonder if he's the son of the actor. 6 foot 182 senior from Atlanta, Georgia. So
Alexander Shelton, I think, was the intended receiver. So
I was going to say, he was throwing it into traffic there. They like that moxie.
12:31 to go in a half. Turnover UPIKE. The Blue Bears are now back out there on the field. Last 2 possessions, Rick, their average field positions the 5-yard line.
Yeah.
Hate to have a turnover like that. He had momentum. Miles Hayes and that offense will check back out there on the field. Pistol formation. There's the handoff to Ruffin up top, and he's going to be corralled. Nothing there.
Going to be across the line of scrimmage, Joe, but I'm not sure if it's enough to move the box. So
Sean Cook, the second, was one of the guys over there.
I got him in class this semester, Joe.
Do you?
Yeah. Quiet so far. I'll try to get that out of him.
Very little gain. Second down, 10.5 or 9.5. The ball just short of the 11-yard line if you want to get technical.
Joe, that's why we're here.
Twin receivers each way. Hayes back to pass. Throws it up top. It's going to be complete. Brought down at the 15-yard line. Catch is made by Davian Howard.
Tackle, first contact there, Joe, by Josh Green. He got help from Fluker, who's coming over.
3rd and 4 from the 16-yard line. 11.5 minutes to go in the first half. 7-0 UPIKE.
I would say Fluker came over just to make sure that the deal was done right there.
Back to pass is Hayes. Looking over the middle. Catch is made. First down. Wide open across the middle. Catch made by Everett Ransom from Atlanta, GA.
6'2", 195. And bright yellow cleats that I think is a flag every time I see them out there.
Ball at the 29-yard line. Two receivers each way. And quarterback's going to keep it himself, and he sold it well, but it's being strung out, and he's going to only gain about 1.
Cedric Thomas coming in to make the tackle, Joe. He wears number 20, and in the effort of being honest here, every time I see a number 20 out there, I think of Hank Mullins, the Prestonsburg product, who was one of the Elite 9, one of our original Bears, wore number 20 and played defense.
2nd and 9 from the 30, 10:45 to go in the half, 7-0. Bears on top. 2 receivers up top, 1 to the bottom. There's the straight handoff.
Nothing there.
Hit at the line of scrimmage, maybe going to get up 2 or 3 yards. 3rd down coming up, and the defense has got to get off the field.
Yeah, Joe, what? And right there, the defense has got to stop him.
Yeah.
I said, you may have heard me mumble, nothing there. He caught him at the line of scrimmage, and he did wind up getting about 3 yards. Actually, going to move it back to 2 yards on the carry to the 33-yard line.
Well, Ruffin, he listed at 210. He's a strong hombre. 3rd down, 6. Ball at the 33-yard line. 10 to go here in the first half. Back to pass, and again, there's another broken tackle.
Boy.
There's a 1st down across the 45 over midfield, and moving the chains again on 3rd down. The Blue Bears.
Sean Cook saved us a touchdown right there, Joe. Nice reception by Carter, and into the Bears into the field at the 47-yard line.
The middle wide open. 1st down and 10 at the UPIKE 47, 7-0 UPIKE. Hayes in the gun. Play action pass, going to keep it himself. Breaks out of a couple of tackles. He's still moving a pile. Inside the 40, still moving it like a rugby. He's being pushed by the lineman, and he's going to pick up about 9 yards.
Joe?
Yes?
The tackling's got to get better.
Yes, it does.
Because let me just say this, and our friends at Livingstone, I don't mean to insult you. The competition's going to get better, and it's going to get better in a hurry.
Yeah. 2nd down, 1, the ball at the UPIKE 38.
We play Bethel here next Thursday night, Joe. Last week, they beat Reinhardt, who played in the national championship game last year.
Pistol formation. There's the give to the second back through, and they're going to get the 1st down. Didn't need much. Getting a seam is going to be Andrew Fairmo, 5'10", 190-pounder. They beat Reinhardt?
They beat Reinhardt last week. Yes, they did.
Boy, their program's jumped up in a hurry from 3 wins.
Bethel kind of is one of those roller coaster programs, Joe. They're really good some years, and they're really bad some years. So
1st down and 10 to 36, 2 receivers. No, straight T formation. Quarterback's under center. This is a straight T. And here comes the give. They're pulling a couple of guys over there, and guess what? That's the reason why not a lot of people run the T.
Flag away from the ball, Joe.
No gain.
No gain yet, but let's see.
First time I saw that play ran, Rick, was Ironton High School, the O Tigers.
Yep.
Let's see what we have here by the White Hat. Shot block on the offense.
So that'll cost them some yards right there, pal.
15. 8:32 to go in the half. UPIKE leading at 7-0. Ball's going to go back to the 49-yard line. Livingstone in their own territory. And just because it's 1st and 25 doesn't necessarily mean 3rd and 4th down's the kiss of death right now. 3 left, 1 right. Or no, 3 right, 1 left. Hayes in the gun. Looking, rolling out to the far sideline. Plenty of time. He's going to throw it. He's got a man out there. It's one-on-one. The DB never looked back.
Never saw it.
And it's going to be incomplete.
The intended target, Joe, was number 88, Davion Howard, a junior from Buena Park, California.
Second down, 25.
The coverage was Elijah Richardson, who is a freshman from Knoxville, Tennessee.
Never looked back, did he?
No, he's lucky he didn't get burned.
He's lucky he didn't get a pass interference.
And if the guy had stopped, he would have ran right over him. You're exactly right.
Twins each way, 8:16 to go and a half. UPIKE up 7-0. Man in motion.
2nd and 25.
Back to Plass. Hayes looking, throws it, just has to throw it away. I think they want to get a screen going. It was just covered up.
And it was kind of got covered up in double coverage, Joe. The intended target, I guess, was Basie out there. So 3rd and 25, and Joe, let's be honest here. They might pick this up, but there's not a whole lot of plays in the record book under 3rd and 25, or in the playbook. You
don't give them much here where they can make 4th and manageable. You know what I'm saying?
I agree. I'm with you.
8:11 to go and a half. Bears on top, 7-0.
Basie is the guy in the backfield right now. Trips to the right. That's the wide side.
3 down linemen.
2, 1.
They didn't get it off. 3rd and 30 now coming up.
Oh, they're going to give them a timeout, Joe.
8:11 to go and a half. Bears ahead, 7-0. UPIKE football is presented by Appalachian Wireless. All right, 3rd down, 25 now for Livingstone. The ball on their own 49-yard line. 7-0. UPIKE on top. 8:11 to go in the first half. 2 receivers each way. Single back set. Hayes, play action pass. Looking, steps up in the pocket. He's got a man over the middle. It's going to be complete, and
that's
they are
down.
near the first down marker. You got to be kidding me. Everett Ransom.
I wish I was, but.
They needed 25, and they got it.
26. Oh, boy.
First down and 10, the ball to 25. Got to get pressure out there. 2 receivers each way. And quarterback's going to keep it himself, and he's still on the run. Got away with the face mask. They hit him at the 25. He weighs over 220. He just barrels. He was way down the extra 3 or 4 yards.
Well, let me correct you just to make a point. They hit him at the 20, and the point is that the quarterback kept it and was 5 yards downfield before somebody got near him. That's not good enough, Joe.
2nd down, 2, the ball to 17-yard line.
Halfway through quarter number 2, Bears nursing a 7-0 lead.
Power I formation. Quarterback's under center. There's the give to the first, second back through. That's going to be rough. And that's a tackle for loss. 3rd down. Well, we can defend 1st or 2nd. We sure in heck can't defend 3rd or 4th.
Ivan Sledge from Lawrenceville, Georgia. Joe, a redshirt freshman, 6'3", 220. And that was a pretty sweet open field tackle by that youngin' right there.
Well, let's see if they can make 2 pretty sweet plays here. Under 7 to go and a half, 7-0. UPIKE. 3rd down, 5 from the 20. Maximum protection. Running back on each side of the quarterback.
I'm guessing they're in field goal range now, Joe. See now how close he was with making a 45-yarder.
And I think they moved.
They did too. And so that'll move them back. It'll be 3rd and 9 now.
When they've gone under center, that makes the third time it hasn't bowed too well for them.
Well, let's get that quarterback back under center by all means. That's all it takes. He's going to line up in the gun. In the backfield beside him will be Fermio.
3rd down, 9 to 24. 3 receivers bunched up to the right.
Right on the line, too, Joe.
Back to pass. All day to throw. Over the middle deep. It's nearly intercepted. Nearly caught. It could have been intercepted or caught. 4th down coming up. They tried to go with Ransom again.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you, Joe. I thought Ransom could have caught that ball. It was almost like he was just trying to knock it down to keep it from getting to the defender. Timeout is going to be called by our friends from Livingstone.
We'll take it as well. We'll return. It's UPIKE Bears football presented by Appalachian Wireless.
Welcome back here to Hambly. Livingstone coming out here. It's 4th down and 9, and they're keeping their offense out on the field from the 29-yard line, Joe.
3 right, 1 left. 4th down and 9 from the UPIKE 24. Can the defense get off the field? Back to pass is Hayes. He's being flushed. He throws across the middle. You got to be kidding me. Low throw, it's caught, and it's going to be another 1st down.
Joe, there wasn't anybody near that defender. near that receiver. The catch was made by DeAndre Vickers, a senior from Stone Mountain, Georgia.
6:15 to go in a half. UPIKE nursing a 7-0 lead.
He played at Savannah State.
If I'm Livingstone's coach, I just put it down to third or fourth down on the play, on the scoreboard.
Yeah.
Back to pass, fade pattern, back of the end zone, jump ball, touchdown, Livingstone. That's going to be Ransom. That's just demoralizing. You got to get off the field.
Joe, I'll tell you the truth about it. We had pretty good coverage on that play, but it was the ones before that.
4th and 25, they get 26. 4th and 9, they get
I'm with you.
the first down. Acunda with the extra point.
Trying to tie it here.
5:54 to go in a half. 7-6, your score. They can tie it. You have to get off the field. Defense isn't doing it. The kick is up. It's through there and good. We're tied at 7 apiece. 5:54 remaining. Second quarter action. Bears football is presented by Appalachian Marbles.
Go.
Here's the kickoff. Right to left across your radio dial. High end over end kick at the 5. Over the 20. Across the 25. Getting out of a tackle. Here we go. 40, 45, and ran out of bounds near this near sideline. Nice special teams kickoff return for the Bears.
Shannon Cozart, Joe, the return man that time from Knoxville, Tennessee, a redshirt freshman. And he got the Bears all the way out to the 46-yard line. And, Joe, he was at about the 30 before somebody got a fingertip on him. The only person who had touched him before that was the other return guy back there who he stepped in front of to take the kick.
Over the last 2 weeks, the opponents are 9 for their last 9 on fourth down conversions. 1st and 10 at the 46. Bowen Smith back at quarterback. He's looking to throw to his safety valve. Is complete across midfield.
Nice hands that time, Joe, to haul that one in by Gibson, Darius Gibson from North Augusta, South Carolina, and did a nice job hustling down the field before he got shoved out of bounds.
Second down manageable. 2nd and 3. The ball at the Blue Bears. 47. 5:35 to go in a half. We're tied at 7. Braxton Whitmore's in motion. Trips now to the left. Ortiz Clark to the bottom. Read option. Play action pass. Clark out there one-on-one. He makes the catch and a penalty flag. First down, UPIKE inside the 10.
I think that's going to be on the defense, Joe. I don't think that's on Clark.
Yeah. Pass interference.
I'll tell you what,
on the
Joe,
defense.
That's why you got to throw the ball to him at least once a possession.
First down, the ball's at the 10-yard line. Tied at 7 apiece. 5:20 to go in a half.
3 and 40 is 43 yards, Joe, on that one. We'll turn down that 15-yard penalty and take the 43-yard reception. First and goal from the 10-yard line.
2 backs in the backfield.
Here we go.
Dylan Whitley's the fullback. Under center is going to be the quarterback.
Power I here, Joe.
Dotting the I is going to be Exandre Willis.
Haven't called his name in a while, Joe.
They're showing blitz. There's the handoff. Willis is going to sneak his way through a hole and get down to near the 5-yard line.
He's so elusive when he gets the ball. He's hard to bring down. Man.
Checking into the game at the offensive line, back ends Jalen Stone from Shelbyville. Second down, go for the 5. 4:43 to go in a half. Tied at 7. UPIKE on the move. Back in the shotgun, Rick. Twin receivers each way.
X is still in the backfield. I look for him to get it again, Joe.
There's the handoff to X. He's going to break a tackle, get down near the 3-yard line. 3rd down and goal.
He had more of a hole there, Joe, than he did on first down when he picked up 5 yards. He kind of created that.
We are approaching 4 minutes remaining in the second quarter. 7-7 is your score. 3rd and go at the 3. Unless you lose yardage, if you pick up a yard or 2, I might go for it.
I was just getting ready to say 4 down territory in my book here.
Yeah. Play clock's under 8 now. Smith claps his hands. It's at 5. Read option, throws it, and it's going to be caught. Touchdown, UPIKE.
Jordan Owens, the Eustis, Florida product, Joe, senior, on the reception. 2 slants, 2 running posts, and he was the back guy, and that was a beautiful pass right there.
Second touchdown pass of the night thrown for Bowen Smith. 3:38 remaining.
Chandler on to kick. He'll do so, Joe, out of the hold of Jaleel El-Amin from Duluth, Georgia.
The hold is down. Kick is up. It's good. 14-7 is your score. We'll return. Bears football is presented by Appalachian Wireless.
Bears are on top now, 14-7 with 3:38 to play before recess, and on to kick is Wilson.
High end over end kick, short kick, brought down at the 15-yard line across the 20. Getting some room across the 30 to the 35. And Livingstone's going to be brought down just shy of the 40, so they'll have good field position. So 3:33 to go in a half. UPIKE ahead by a touchdown, 14-7. The defense has allowed the last 9 fourth down conversion attempts to be successful.
Elijah Richardson was on that tackle, nice tackle, and he's another Knoxville native. We got a lot of Knoxville's been fruitful ground for Al Holland and his staff.
Power I formation, they're under center again. Let's see maybe if this might be play action pass time. Blitz, showing blitz off the edge. There's the play action pass, throwing it out there,
wide open.
And it's going to be complete inside the UPIKE 40-yard line.
Nearly every time they throw the football, they're throwing it to the same guy.
Ransom.
How do we lose him?
Covered the deep guy, didn't cover the short one. Ransom. .320 remaining in the first half. 14-7 Bears. Ball at the 39-yard line of UPIKE.
I'll tell you what, honorary coach Gia Potter is going to have to light that defense up, Joe, at halftime.
Twin receivers each way. Back to pass. Being flushed, stepping up. And again, over the middle. Just thrown behind the intended receiver. But the middle of the field is completely wide open.
Yeah, that's an excellent call, Joe, because he overthrew the guy, but listen, he was dead open. He just missed a wide open target.
3:06 to go in the half. 14-7 Bears. Second down, 10, the ball at the 39-yard line. I got to ask you a question very shortly, okay?
All right.
3 receivers right, 1 receiver left. Here comes the option. They pitch it. UPIKE has it defended well as Ruffin's going to get down to maybe the 38. Fourth down coming up.
Gain a yard. But to this point, Joe, this is right where they wanted us.
Or is that third down? Third down and 9.
Oh, they did. They moved the box quickly.
Yeah.
3rd and 9 from the 38.
That option pitch was covered well, Rick.
Yes, it was. Nice job. Bears swarmed it.
Twins each way. 3rd and 9 from the Bears 38. 2.5 to go in the second quarter. 14-7 Bears. Hayes back to pass, and I think they're going to be called for an illegal procedure.
That is the case. 3rd and 14.
But you have to have confidence because if you can pick up 4th and 25.
Yeah.
.225 remaining. Defense got to make a play. And the defense has played well for the most part. It's just been on 3rd and 4th downs. Play clock is now at 5.
The problem with that, Joe, is it's 3rd down.
3. Back to pass. They faked a screen. Being flushed out of the pocket. Still on his feet. Throwing it out there for grabs. Incomplete. 4th down coming up.
I'll tell you what, Joe. That's a big-time play by that quarterback there, and they are going to punt it here. I'm going to tell you, Joe, I'd go for this.
I would too. That's a freshman out there.
Yeah.
You had nice pressure by Sean Cook II.
He actually got off a pretty good pass, but he was just slinging it, hoping it was going towards somebody, and it wound up going in between two targets.
1:54 to go in a half. UPIKE ahead 14-7.
X is going to be at about the 15-yard line, Joe. 10-yard line, I'm sorry.
One timeout for each team remaining. High end over end kick. X is going to let it bounce. It's going to go into the end zone for the touchback.
146, Joe.
Ortiz Clark time.
I'll tell you, I was going to say, I don't think it took 146 to score the last time, but we didn't have 75 yards to go either.
Quick question for you, okay?
Let's hear it.
With my job now, I have to go to Pennsylvania in the morning to make a delivery.
Yes.
In Fairmont, West Virginia, they have an ice cream place.
Yes.
They have a 10-pound banana split. Should I tackle it or not?
Tonight?
No, tomorrow.
Oh.
10-pound banana split.
Well, if it's in West Virginia and you're supposed to be in Pennsylvania, no, I don't advise that. But
It's in Fairmont, yeah.
After you get off work,
yeah.
pregame meal.
First down and 10, the ball at the 20-yard line.
You may not be able to sleep for 3 days, but timeout Livingstone with 146 to play.
And we'll return in a minute. It's UPIKE football presented by Appalachian Wireless. First down 10, UPIKE, ball at the 20-yard line, 1:46 remaining. Livingstone out of timeouts. The Bears have one. And there's the straight handoff to Willis. He's going to reverse field, and it's not going to work that time. Loss on the play, back to 13.
Guy won't get credit for the tackle, Joe, but Adams, a senior defensive lineman from Atlanta, Devontae Adams, held him up in the backfield and kept him pinned back there where they got the tackle.
He had a heck of a, 53-yard run last week, reversing field.
2nd and 16.
Leaping the man at the line of scrimmage. I told him, I said, he made a run that David Jones never made. He said, Joe, don't tell that man that. 2nd and 16 from the 14. Smith back to pass. Pocket holds up well. He's got a man out there. Ortiz Clark makes the catch. First down, Bears near the 40. Clock stops with 1:04 remaining.
I'm not so sure that wasn't defensive pass interference as well there, Joe. But the catch out to the 40 covers 26 yards. And that's what Clark can give you, man. If you can throw it out there to him.
Got to get set now. Clock is going to wind down. Bears are set. 1 minute remaining. Ball at the 40-yard line. Play action pass. Pocket holds up. Going to go for the deep ball. Ortiz Clark. Hey. He's interfered with. No call. You got to be joking me. I mean, he got pushed in the back at the 30-yard line.
Yeah, there was definitely contact.
54 seconds to go in a half.
He's coming off the field now, which you understand, running that far 2 plays in a row. And amongst the new receivers out there, Joe, will be Darian Leslie, All-American basketball player last year.
You don't call that pass interference. They should just do away with that penalty.
Yep.
2nd and 10 at the 40.
Wasn't Leslie the player of the year in the Mid-South Conference last year?
Yes. Screen pass to X, thrown too low. Nice heat. 3rd down and 10.
49.7 seconds to play. They can't call a timeout, so, Joe, if you run the ball here and don't pick it up, you may not have to run that 4th down play. And I'm going to say that that's what we're going to do. We're going to hand it off to X and see what happens.
3rd down, 10, the ball to 40. Remember, Darian Leslie nearly came up with a miraculous catch up top in the first quarter.
Yeah, well, he's in that slot to replace Clark, so.
Whitmore hasn't been targeted yet tonight. Back to pass to Smith. Looking, plenty of time, dancing around. He's going to throw. It's going to be knocked away. Incomplete. 4th down coming up with 42 ticks.
And now you do have to run that 4th down play. Was Duke the intended target there, Joe?
Yes.
Yep. Duke Ferguson. He's in my class. And, by the way, his Christian name is not Duke.
Lay it on me.
I wish I could.
Justin Ritchie on the deflection. So back deep now to receive the punt will be Gregory Hines II. He may be related to the actor. Snaps a little high. They come after it, and it's going to be a short one. And it's going to hit at the 31, and now they're going to return across the 30 to the 35 and stepping out of bounds. 32 seconds remaining. Hines being aggressive that time.
All right, Joe. I'm gonna spell Duke Ferguson's christened name for you.
Okay.
SHONDREZOUS. Shondrazus.
I'll go with you.
And when he walked up to me and he said, "They call me Duke," I said, "Thank God."
It's like Mike Ena's real name. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Say Big Mike. 32.8 seconds remaining before the half. UPIKE has a 14-7 lead. The ball at the 26-yard line.
Yeah.
Livingstone's got to go 74 yards. No timeouts.
Mike Ena's first name was Big. Actually, it was big.
It had a lot of letters.
6'10", 6'11". Yeah, it went on for days.
I'm thinking about that 10-pound banana split.
You could eat that while you're trying to spell Mike Ena's first name.
3 receivers up top, 1 receiver to the bottom. Hayes looking down the field, hit as he throws, has a man targeted. It's going to be complete at the 41. Clock stop with 25.7 seconds.
Had a guy just step late, Joe, to get there.
Fermo, on the reception. Ball at the 41. They need 59 yards, 25.7 seconds. UPIKE has a 14-7 lead. Long first half. 3 receivers bunched to the bottom. Hayes rolls out bottom, looks. He's directing traffic to go long. He's got a man 1-on-1, 2-on-1. It's deflected and caught inside the 30-yard line on the tip drill. Catch is made there by DeAndre Vickers.
Yeah, Cook deflected it, and about 5 yards downfield it was caught by Vickers. And all of a sudden, Joe, they're at the 27-yard line.
Clock is under 10 seconds. I think the clock just kept on going. They spike it with 7.9. I think they're going to put some more time back on the clock, Rick.
I don't think they're going to. Nope, they're not.
Okay. So 7.9 seconds remaining in the half.
That's
they are at the UPIKE 27.
If you can get them down there and get them set, you don't stop the clock.
Okay. So the ball's at the 27-yard line of UPIKE. UPIKE trying to escape the first half of the touchdown lead. They have no timeouts remaining.
Look for the dude in the bright yellow shoes.
Ransom. They weren't set. There's going to be a 5-yard penalty back at the 32-yard line.
They were trying to beat the clock.
This is a program that went 0 for the season last year, 0-10. They went 2-8 the year before.
Bears on top by 7. 7.5 seconds left here. Trips to the right. And the running back is on the right.
Miles Hayes in the gun, looking to throw. Plenty of time. He's going to throw it out there near the end zone. Jump ball, penalty flag down, incomplete. 0.8 seconds remaining.
Flag is down, Joe, at about the 20-yard line. And if that's against the Bears, that could put them back in field goal range. So there's be a 49-yarder here, and it's going to be against the Bears. It's going to be a hold or, hold. That's 10 yards, Joe.
Well, do you get greedy? Let's see what they're going to do. Quarterback's over there. They're going to bring in the Akunda, and they're going to bring in the field goal unit.
Yep.
He just missed from 45. He has plenty of leg.
I don't know why the umpire is holding the football at the 27. He needs to come back here to the 32 and then mark it off.
Xandre Willis is coming in. Oh, no, he's being waved off.
So they're going to put it down at the 22, which is approximately right. And so the field goal attempt is going to be 40 yards, Joe.
Final play of the half. Akunda, right-footed soccer-style kicker.
Timeout, UPIKE.
And let's just keep it here.
0.8 seconds left.
I'll tell you what, this is the fourth consecutive broadcast that it's been a close game. Last week, I did an overtime game, a high school game, which on a Friday night, which was separated by 7 points, and then last Saturday night, a double overtime affair.
So you're averaging an overtime a game right now.
And that was the first time since, I think, 2011 that I did a high school overtime game. The longest game I've ever done in my 20 years of broadcasting, Rick, triple overtime, 2004 at Shelby Valley, between Shelby Valley and Pike County Central.
Shelby Valley won a playoff game up there, Joe, I believe against Somerset, that went deep into overtime too. They're going to kick from the left hash, a 40-yard try, and unless there's a defensive penalty, this will be the last play of the period.
Hold is down. Kick is up. It's plenty long enough, and it is going to be good. He would have had that for 50. Your score at the end of one half of play, UPIKE 14, Livingstone out of Salisbury, North Carolina 10. We'll return with the halftime report right after this. This is UPIKE Bears football action presented by Appalachian Wireless. UPIKE ahead 14-10. They'll get the football to begin the third quarter of action. High end-over-end kick. And it's fielded at the 13, across the 20, up the gut at the 30. They got a wall. Oh, good helmet to helmet there, over the 35 to about the 38.
And that was Brian Mitchell on the return, Joe, up, as you say, near the 40-yard line. You should give Sonny the
I did.
Let me say this, Joe, about Sonny Warren, who was our quarterback. He was the starter for 4 straight years. Now, he got hurt 2 or 3 of those times.
Right.
Let me ask you this. Do you think he would have approached, do you think he could have been in, to compete with the numbers, the all-time records at UPIKE?
If he would have stayed healthy,
If he would have
yes.
stayed healthy?
Yeah, I think he could have. First down, 10, the ball at the 39-yard line. I don't know if he could have beaten them, you know what I'm saying? Probably, I don't think he would have beat them, but he would have been knocking on some doors.
Like number 2.
Yeah. They're showing blitz off the edge. Now they're backing out.
Movement.
And the tackle moves.
Yes, he does. That's actually the guard, number 67, on the movement there. And he's trying to blame the other guy, and that's Justo Polanco from Tampa, Florida. 6'3", 330, and a junior.
14-10 UPIKE. Ball spotted back to the 34-yard line.
So
2 left, 1 right. Xandre Willis is the running back. Bowen Smith claps his hands. You can hear it from up here in the press box. There's the handoff to X, and X is going to wiggle his way from the 35 up to near the 39.
I gained of about 4 on that one there. Nice job by the defense for Livingstone.
Ortiz Clark flankered to the bottom of the field. Braxton Whitmore is going to be behind him. Duke Ferguson and Anthony Brown up top. Second down, 11, the ball at the 38. UPIKE ahead 14-10. Blitz off the edge coming. And here comes the read option. There's a handoff to X. Only a gain up to the original line of scrimmage. 3rd and 10 from the 39.
I'm sure X is saying, don't do me any favors there. That was they were on him in a hurry.
They really have bottled up. They got the big beef of it in there right now. A couple of 300-pound hombres. DeAndre Moore and Jared Lyons, they average 320 among them. 3rd and 10 from the 39. Twins each way. Smith back to pass. Plenty of time. Looking near sideline is complete to Ortiz Clark. Short of the first down by about 2 yards. 4th and 2 from the 47. Rick, do you risk it here?
No, I don't. And here comes the punting unit.
Under 13 and a half to go in the third. 14-10, UPIKE. Thanks a lot for tuning in on Z107.5, also on Pike TV. And here comes the punt. They come after it. High end-over-end kick. It's a wobbler. It takes a hop at the 22, and it's fielded at the 11. Across the 15, by-stepping a one tackler, 25-30, up the far sideline. One man to beat the punter. This is trouble, and the punter holds him up, and he's slowed up and tackled hard from behind inside the 38-yard line of UPIKE.
Braxton Whitmore was the guy who closed in and finished off that tackle. But, Joe.
Gregory Hines is second.
That's embarrassing.
Yes, it is.
That's bad right there. Man, you had him pinned at the 11. The ball's bouncing around. You let him pick it up and run it that far? Jeez.
And the punter at least slowed him down. So the Blue Bears now, 13:02 to go in the third. They can take the lead here. They're 39 yards away from doing so. Twins bunched up tight each way, man in motion. They're overloading that side. Toss pitch up top to Ruffin, and they're off to the races, reversing the field, first down. And there's a plenty of jersey being hung on to from the 30 down to about the 23-yard line.
Cedric Thomas on the tackle.
Justin Ruffin, the ball carrier. You have two Bears down. 12:53 to go in the third. UPIKE nursing a 4-point lead. We'll return. Bears football is presented by Appalachian Wireless.
Welcome back to Hambly. Rick and Joe with you. One of the players injured for the Bears is up and making his way off the field. That is Josh Green. The other one is still down. And to be honest about it, Joe, he hasn't really moved a whole lot.
No, now Holland Jr., the head football coach of the Bears, going to the field now to check on his player.
And we always have the ambulance here, and you don't want to see those guys get involved, but they're starting to make their way out onto the turf now. Anyway, he might have rolled over now, Joe. It looks like he's on his back. He was on his side for most of that time now. So 12:53 to go. A little bit more of a delay, and I tell you. So we'll see. I don't know, Joe. Kelly Wells coming out now to check out what's going on here too.
We got a nice looking fan below us.
Yes,
as well.
we do.
Yes.
That's going to be Al Holland Jr.'s child. I do believe, because it's Al Holland Sr. holding that child up.
So Al Jr., coach, he's squatted down. Kelly Wells, athletic director, being his basketball coach, he's overlooking as well. 12:53 to go in the third, 14-10.
They're waving for the paramedics to come out, Joe.
Yeah.
We're going to have a little bit more of a delay here.
Let's take a timeout. This, again, 12:53 to go in the third. UPIKE ahead, 14-10. Bears football presented by Appalachian Wireless.
Well, we welcome you back here to Hambly. Rick and Joe with you. We're still in a delay as the injured player. I just don't feel comfortable giving a name. We know who it is. I just don't feel comfortable announcing that over the radio, just to be honest about it. But the paramedics are out, and they're getting the backboard out. And you said, Joe, to me, I don't know if it was on the air or off, that you felt like that the trainer, one of the trainers for the Bears, was kind of holding his neck still.
Holding his head, yeah.
Yeah.
I can't look. I can't see through the binoculars again, because there's so many more people do. That's what that trainer, before he flipped over on his back when he was on his stomach, the trainer was looking over top of him, and the Livingstone trainers came out to see if they could offer anything. But you have the EMTs out there. You have 4 or 5 people now. They're getting him on the board, and they're trained. So he's going to go over to the medical center, and he'll be well taken care of. So prayers go out to the fallen UPIKE player. Setting the scene for you. 12:53 to go in the third. 14-10. Every player on both sides now taking a knee. And Rick, we've seen this. Hopefully, this injury's not as serious as it appears. Hopefully, it's more precautionary measure. But I tell you, there's still a lot of football left, and something like this, it won't matter what team is affected.
No.
These guys, they still got to come out here and play, and that thought's going to be running through their minds.
Yeah, it can be an issue, no question about it, Joe, for everybody involved.
So they have the UPIKE player, Rick. They do have him on the board right now.
Yeah.
You had two Bear players collide. One of them got off and walked underneath off the field without any assistance. And what was a festive mood here at Hillard Howard Field to Hamley, Rick, is now just silent.
Yeah, I mean, it really is, Joe. I mean, like I'm sure we're not the only ones in this facility talking, but
Right.
I don't hear anybody else.
No.
I mean, let's be honest about
No.
it. So we'll hope that that player is that this is more precautionary than necessary, and we'll see, Joe. We'll see. The Livingstone team has just broken a prayer huddle over there. And you said, Joe, that's kind of your point, right? That that even the other team is affected by this.
Yeah. Of course, they leave the helmet on. They put the tape his head down, make sure there's no movement whatsoever. Again, we just hope that this is more precautionary than anything.
We do appreciate our friends from the city of Pikeville, Joe. And, of course, we all know those guys as well as anybody else. We appreciate that they always have us have an ambulance here just in case it's necessary. And oftentimes, Joe, those guys go completely unnoticed, and I guarantee you that those guys will tell you that's what we want. The last thing they want to be is on the field. But we just thank God that they're here, on those cases when it is necessary. And so we just hope that young man is going to be okay.
I'm looking through the binoculars, Rick, trying to see if I see any movement at all. And one of the Livingstone players came over, and pat him on the arm.
Listen, this is all. These guys may have never heard of the other school that they're playing, Joe, but that doesn't matter.
And Rick, usually when a player, if they get hurt like this, usually they give a thumbs up or something, and the UPIKE player, no movement from his no movement at all. I'll be honest with you. So hopefully, this injury's not as serious. Hopefully, it's just precautionary. But no thumbs up. So the teams are now getting a little bit of a warm up. 1st and 10 at the 23 of UPIKE. And to be honest with you, I don't think anybody in this stadium really cares about time, down, and distance right now.
No.
It's all about the UPIKE player.
I guarantee it. No question about it.
And I think it's a smart move by the officials to give both teams time to warm up, because you had an extended halftime of over 30 minutes, and then you only got a little over 2 minutes of playing time. So there's been a lot of downtime for both teams right now.
No question about it.
The second of 7 home games this year.
A lot of them.
What kind of stats do you have for us right now? Saturday?
Obviously they haven't changed a tremendous amount. 14 first downs for Livingstone, 6 first downs for the Bears. So the football is in the hands of the Bears right now, so their numbers would have been the ones changed. 13 carries for 50 yards for the team. X has 9 carries, Joe, but only 20 yards, and one of them went for 9 yards. 7 of 16, the two quarterbacks combined for it with two touchdowns and a pick for 114. And so the Bears have 164 yards of offense on 29 plays, 5.7 yards of play. Livingstone at 264 yards on 48 plays, or 5.5. And now we're ready to play here. Livingstone with the football.
First down, 10, the ball to 23-yard line. Read action. Here comes the option, and there's the tackle for loss right there on Ruffin.
Nice job that time on the convergence and the tackle. Josh Irvin from Johnson Central High School. is the guy with the tackle.
So now if you're the defense, you want to just pick up your fallen teammate. Second down, 13. The ball back at the 26 of UPIKE. 3 left, 3 right, 1 left. Ruffin's going to be the only setback. Miles Hayes, 6'3", 220 freshman. Bransom is the slot receiver, the receiver to the middle, up top. Here comes the blitz up the middle, play action. Here comes one-on-one coverage, and the ball is out of bounds, and they're going to throw. Yeah, defensive pass interference.
It was pretty obvious, too. Although you could say that was an uncatchable throw. You could say that, too, Joe. You can make that argument easily because it went about at least 5 yards out of bounds, and that's what Al Holland's pointing to out there. Look how deep it was.
If he would have caught it, it'd been incomplete anyway.
Yeah. So the contact was there, but now –
I mean, there's no way. I mean, if he would have caught it, he would have been near the cheerleaders, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Yeah. No question about it.
Boy, that call has been inconsistent this year. They ought to wave off that one. They're going to talk again. I mean, there's no way. If he would have caught it.
But I'm going to tell you something, Joe.
He was interfered with, though.
If they change this call, that sideline opposite us will explode.
Well, they need to explode because if he would have caught it, he'd been around the cheerleaders.
They're not going to do it. They're going to leave it the way it is.
11:58 to go in the third. 14-10 UPIKE.
Balls at the 15-yard line, Joe. Sorry.
First down 10. They go under center, I formation. Another stoppage and play.
Yep.
We might be here till 1 o'clock in the morning.
At the rate we're going, they may.
The ambulance has got the sirens on. I think that's what they're doing. Yeah, they're waiting on the ambulance to leave. All right.
That's what we got going on, Joe.
So the second ambulance came in. The first ambulance pulled out.
Yeah. So, okay.
I formation. Miles Hayes is under center. First and 10 for 15. Here comes the handoff to Ruffin. He's going to try to get there on the edge. He does. He's inside the 10. He breaks another tackle. He's going to be
ball's out.
And UPIKE has it. UPIKE has it at the 7-yard line.
How about that, Joe? Sean Cook was the guy who missed on that. Well, they're going to say he was down. He bounced outside and eluded Cook, but he stayed on the play and was the guy who picked up the ball. But now it appears.
I think what they're saying is the ball was out of bounds because he fumbled it. He fumbled it. I think Cook might have popped in on it on the sideline. That's the only reason why they're going to keep possession.
Well,
personal foul on UPIKE. That's half the distance.
Well, that'll do it.
Going from bad to worse.
And now the White Hat's going to come over and converse with Al Holland Jr., which even further delays this game. And they're telling Coach Holland to get back in the box. And I don't think Al's too interested in hearing it, and I don't really blame him.
I don't either. It went back from that pass interference call, which plenty of contact, but it wasn't a catchable ball. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
in high school, there's no such thing. That would have been a legit penalty, but this is college. Ball's at the 4. 11:48 remaining in the third quarter. We'll never get out of here at this rate. 14-10. UPIKE.
Haven't trailed in this game, Joe, but if Livingstone gets in the end zone here, they'll take the lead.
And let's see, they have Marcus Basie Jr. dotting the I. Fullback is Brian Digsby. Miles Hayes under center. Ball at the 4, first and goal. There's the handoff, and what a hit right at the line of scrimmage. Getting in there and making the initial hit is going to be Jerron Broadnax out of Columbia, South Carolina. Second down, goal. Just inside the 4. I formation again, under centers, Miles Hayes, 6'3", 220 freshman. There's the handoff that time, and no, the quarterback's going to keep it himself, and he throws it out there, and let's see what we have. Touchdown, Livingstone.
Catch is made out there by Corey Hall, a 6'7", 201-pound junior from Bronx. The Bronx, dude. So with 11 minutes to play in the third quarter, Livingstone is on top for the first time in the game.
Acuna now with the point after. And holds down. Kick is up, and it's going to be right through there. 17-14, 11 to go in the third. Livingstone with the lead. This is Bears football action presented by Appalachian Wireless. Call it to 9, over to 25, near sideline. Oh, nice hit at the 30. Still up to the 32-yard line before being driven out of bounds, just shy of the 35.
Brian Mitchell on the return.
And now you got some pushing and shoving going on that UPIKE sideline. Now you got a fist being thrown. You got some punches. Now you got some Livingstone players coming over towards the UPIKE sideline. If they don't get this separated, it's going to be all-out war.
And that white hat, who has struggled tonight.
Yes, he has.
Him standing there with his arms out, not really doing a whole lot about breaking that up.
Right. And you know you're going to have the probably proverbial offsetting personal fouls, which one of their players did throw a punch. $10:51 to go in the third quarter. UPIKE trailing at 17-14. And that's going to get the crowd rowdy. He said offsides Livingstone. They didn't throw personal. Foul. He said offside. He motioned offsides. I guess it's going to be offsides on the kick.
I'm gonna tell you something, Joe.
They're struggling.
They are struggling hard. Now let me be clear about something. Bears aren't playing real well, I should say.
Yeah.
This crew here, they don't need to be calling any big-time games.
No, they don't. First down and 10, the ball at the 38-yard line.
Akundu,
okay. Twin receivers each way. Ortiz Clark down here to the bottom. Bowen Smith in the gun. Back to pass all day. He's being flushed. He's going to keep it himself, and he's going to pick up a short yardage across the 40. And we have a penalty flag.
I'm going to guess that's a late hit. Out of bounds. Hit out of bounds would be my guess.
Tack on 15 extra.
But I'm going to tell you, Clark was headed down the field when he saw his quarterback scramble out. He cut back, and he was wide open at the Livingstone 45 and just didn't see him. So let's see. Personal foul. Personal foul against the Bears.
Wow.
Okay.
Not getting any calls. So back inside the 25 at the 23-yard line. First and 25. New quarterback in here for at least a play. Trevon Wolford. Twin receivers each side.
His only pass attempt in the first half was an interception.
This will be read option run probably.
Yeah.
Whitmore in motion, and we have another penalty flag. Legal procedure on the Bears.
From the umpire.
2nd and 30.
Penalties are starting to add up now, brother. Against the Bears.
There's no flow to this game.
6 penalties for 33 yards now.
2nd down and 30, the ball at the 18-yard line. Twins each way. Whitmore's going to make it trips. Back to pass. Wofford's going to throw it. And it's going to be complete to Ortiz Clark near the 30-yard line.
So that'll make it 3rd and 18. Yeah, you got to get to the 48. So it was a nice gain that time by Clark, who's got to be closing in on 100. He's actually over 100 now.
Same formation, 2 receivers each side.
And that was the first complete pass by Wolford, by the way.
Wolford in the gun. He has 1 pick tonight.
Well,
Back to pack. Look, he's going to tuck it. He's going to run it. He's across the 40. Breaks a tackle. He's got a first down. He's got some blockers. He's in that far sideline inside the 45. Makes a spin move inside the 40. First down, Bears.
36 yards, Joe. And let me tell you something. Trayvon Wolford can scoot.
Yes, he can.
That was nice.
Under 10 to go in the third. 17-14. Livingstone with the lead. The Bears are on the move.
I'd like to time him in the 40, Joe.
Is he faster than David Jones?
It's pretty quick. Of course, he's about a head and shoulder taller than David Jones, too. So got those long legs.
3 right, 1 left. Wolford back to pass. Good time. Now he's being flushed. He's tripped up. He stays on his feet, and he's going to lose about a half a yard.
That's pretty good scrambling right there.
He makes it exciting when he loses a half a yard. Alexander Shelton back in the game as a wide receiver. Darian Leslie down here to the bottom.
Clark's on the sideline now, Joe, but 5 catches for 113.
No gain. Second down, 10. The ball back at the 35 of Livingstone. Man in motion.
Clark. I'm sorry, go ahead, Joe.
Jordan Owens up top. They show blitz off the edge.
They're not going to do that. Wolford with 2 carries, Joe, and he's close to 60 yards.
UPIKE 35 yards away from a go-ahead touchdown. They're showing the blitz. It's picked up. X inside the 30, and he's going to be brought down near the 25-yard line. It'll be third down and a long one. Duke Ferguson will come back in. Line's doing a good job tonight, Rick.
Yeah.
Dylan Whitley now is fullback.
And they're going to bring X out, Joe. So Whitley will be the only running back in the backfield. And Clark's back in. Only wide out to the right side of the line.
3rd and 1 from the Livingstone 26.
I'm guessing that it's going to be a keeper.
He's going to keep it himself. He's going to have the first down inside the 25 behind the center and the guard. And now you have a penalty flag and a personal foul. Artis Clark got tripped up. Daryl Mathis, they got tangled up, and Clark is now down.
He's holding his back. He's going to get up, but.
So let's see what this is going to have.
So under 8 minutes to play here in what's been a long third quarter.
Personal foul on Livingstone.
So that's going to be half the distance from the 26 down to the 13.
And I'm going to say this.
Actually, they didn't go half the distance. They went all the way to the 11.
I'm going to say this. If I'm Coach Holland after this game, I send my guys to the locker room. I don't shake hands.
Well, you did that last week,
I don't
think you want to get in the habit of that. But Livingstone calls the timeout with a tick under 8 minutes to play here in the third quarter.
We'll be back right after this. Bears football presented by Appalachian Wireless. First down and 10 for the Bears. The ball on the Livingstone 11-yard line. 7:59 to go in the third. UPIKE trailing at 17-14.
Wofford, the quarterback, Joe, 3 carries for 58 yards. He's the lead carrier in the game. And he's carried it 3 times.
Well, the first time I came out here and saw him in practice and saw him pass, I said, yeah, he's legit. I said, who's that?
He will have to put some meat on his bones.
Oh, yeah.
6'5" and 199.
Yeah, he can hang around you, man. Eat some lunch with you.
You got that right. Set him at our table.
Darian Leslie, receiver to the bottom here. Read option, hand off to Willis inside the 10. And he'll get to around the 8.
Gain of about 3 for X. Give him 32 yards on the 11 tries. Time as the X's helmet came off.
Jordan Owens and Dylan Whitley back in. Now we will see if the quarterback, Wofford, has the accuracy in short yardage if he can, if need be.
With the fact that the running back that's in the game is a fullback, Joe, we might see him carry it again here too.
Still plenty of time on a play clock. 7.5 to go in the third. 17-14 Livingstone in field goal range. But for the Bears kicking game, it's on a gimme. Twins each way. Clock's down to 5. Read option.
Oh.
Pass. Touchdown, UPIKE.
Nice. Anthony Brown, the Seneca product, Joe.
And everyone bid on the running back that time.
You're not lying. That was nice.
7:14 remaining, and in the third, and UPIKE takes another lead, 20-17.
And give Wofford credit, Joe. He stuck the ball in the gut. He
Yes,
just
he
pulled
did.
it back.
Wofford will probably earn another series.
Looked good that time.
William Chandler on with the extra point. It is up and good. 7:14 to go in the third. Bears on top, 21-17. UPIKE football is presented by Appalachian Wireless.
Bears regain the lead with 7:14 to play, and Phillips is on for the kick, Joe.
End over end, taken down at the 12. Over the middle, the 20, the 25. Has a seam now. He's going to try to cut the edge. He does. He has it. He's over to 30.
Oh.
And knocked down at the 32-yard line. And there's going to be a taunting penalty on UPIKE probably.
Well, Tony
Personal foul.
Bedina from Lake Wales, Florida on the tackle, but he
Tack
was
on
wolfing
15.
a little bit.
Well, is that joining the Horseman Club right there?
I'll tell you what, but,
Get the penalty.
got the penalty too.
Yeah. So they are going to have the ball on personal foul on Livingstone.
I take all that back. Yes, he's a horseman.
Yeah. So thought that was going to go on UPIKE. And it's going to go 15 yards the other way. 7:04 to go in quarter number 3. 21-17 UPIKE. Livingstone is going to be backed up inside their own 20-yard line. At the 18. That was a great hit up top. First down 10, Livingstone, the ball on the 18-yard line. 21-17 Bears. Man in motion, under centers, Miles Hayes. Toss pitch up top to Ruffin. Ruffin's got some real estate, and he's going to be taken down after a nice game. Gain of 8. On the tackles, Josh Irvin out of Johnson Central High School. 6'4", 235, redshirt freshman. Ball at the 25-yard line. Second down and 3. 3 receivers to the bottom. 1 receiver up top. Single back set. Hayes in the gun. Here comes the blitz up the middle. He's being flushed. He's being pressured. He's got a man out there. It's thrown. It's underthrown. It's intercepted. Coming back the other way. 35-30, 25. Tripped up inside the 20-yard line. And UPIKE has the football. Interception for the Bears. Cedric Thomas, 5'8", 162-pound freshman from Liberty Township, Ohio. And a penalty flag. Ball severely underthrown. And a pick for the Bears. We still have 6:19 to go in the third, 21-17. Dead ball on sportsmanlike conduct on Livingstone. Half the distance to the goal line. Livingstone has lost their composure here in this third quarter. Ever since when they conducted the prayer huddle for the fallen UPIKE player, they have lost their composure. And the Bears are trying to make them pay on the turnover. Ball is at the 10. It's inside the 10. It's at the 7. First and goal. Exandre Willis, lone setback. Twins each way. Whitmore in motion from right to left. And we have a penalty flag. This will probably go on UPIKE. So now we'll go first and goal at the 12. That's the last 2 times that we have ran that formation, we have moved. UPIKE in the Bethel Wildcats from McKenzie, Tennessee. Coming into Pike, Vegas, coming up next Thursday night at 7. We'll have it for you beginning at 6:45. Twins each way. First and goal to 12. Walford's your quarterback. Whitmore in motion from right to left. Trip receivers up top. Walford, read option. He's going to hand off to Willis. He makes a couple guys miss, and he's slung inside the 10, and he'll go to about the 8. Second down goal. Substitution coming in. That's going to be Darius Gibson. 5'11", 205 freshman, listed as a running back. X out. New running back. Darius Gibson. No Willie McLeod tonight. He's in street clothes. 6 to go in the third. 21-17, UPIKE. Walford in the gun. 2 receivers right, 1 to the left. Read option. He's going to hand off inside the 5. Following his own block. Down to about the 1. And touchdown, UPIKE. First carry of the year for Darius Gibson, and he is into the end zone. The freshman with his first collegiate touchdown. 27-17 Bears. 5:48 to go in the third. They'll attempt the extra point. This will be William Chandler. The hold coming from Jaleel Elamine. Hold down, kick up, and it is right through there good. 5:48 to go in the third. UPIKE 28, Livingstone 17. Bears football is presented by Appalachian Wireless. 5:48 to go in the third. UPIKE's opened up a 28-17 lead. 14 unanswered for the good guys. Phillips kick to the near side. Brought down by Hines at the 11. He's bottled up. Now he's going to try reverse field. Great special teams coverage by the Bears. One of the guys in there on coverage for UPIKE was Shannon Cozarts from Knoxville, Austin East High School. Ball at the 17-yard line. Rick, I tell you, you might want to leave the press box again. Got an interception, and Cedric Thomas with the interception. First carry of the year, Darius Gibson, touchdown.
I like it.
I might leave the press box a minute and see what we can do. You know what I'm saying? Under center is Miles Hayes, single back set, receiver to each side, and there's movement.
Okay, Joe.
And they didn't call a penalty. Play clock's down to 1. And guess what? They're going to get called for delay of game.
How about that? The defense can move, Joe, and get back, and that's what happened there. And that'll move them back. Joe?
Yes.
I left the press box for other reasons, but I did get good news while we were.
All right. Tell us.
The injured Bear, and I feel better about saying it now, Chris Dublin was the guy who was injured. Sophomore from Rome, Georgia. Kelly Wells, who we mentioned it on the air. Kelly was out on the field. He said that he could move his extremities and everything. He kind of got hit kind of between the shoulder blades, maybe higher on the neck. He said he thought it was more precautionary than anything else.
All right, that's good. First down, 15, the ball to 12, and the running back is balled up on that near sideline. And he's on his feet like rugby style. Gets across the 25. UPIKE says they have it.
Well,
how in the world did he gain that yardage? That was
I'll tell you
roughing.
exactly
That's
how. One of the linemen was doing something that I'm pretty sure you're not supposed to do. He was pushing him down the field. Remember all that controversy in the national championship game when USC did that, Joe?
Yeah, remember.
You're not supposed to do that.
First down, 10, the ball at the 27. There's the handoff. And the running back gets drilled in the back at around the 32-yard line. That's going to be Andrew Farimo. 5 to go in the third, 28-17 UPIKE. Irvin on another tackle. 2nd and 6 at the 31. 3 receivers, Rick, up top, 1 to the bottom. Blitz up from the edge. Here it comes. Read option. Quarterback keeps it himself. 3 missed tackles, and he'll get up to the 35-yard line, 3rd and short.
Look, Joe, this coaching staff knows football.
Yes, sir.
So I'm sure they're working on those sort of things in practice, but man, oh, man.
3rd down and 3 from the 35. 4:18 to go in the third. 28-17 Bears. 3 receivers to the bottom, 1 up top. Single back set. Miles Hayes in the gun. Here comes the blitz. He's rolling out to the near sideline. He's pressured, and what a catch made at the 40. Catch made by DeAndre Vickers.
Cook on the tackle.
Rick's been a long quarter.
It sure has. You know, you think about it even longer with that extra 10 minutes on the already 20-minute long halftime.
Yeah. 2 receivers up top and 1 bottom. UPIKE showing blitz up the middle. It's picked up. There's the handoff to Fairmo, and he'll pick up 2 up to at least the 42-yard line, maybe gain to 3. They're getting a lot of yards after contact tonight.
Yeah, they sure are. Yak yards.
On yak runs as well. 3.5 to go in the third. 2nd and 7 from the 42. UPIKE ahead by 11, 28-17.
By the time I quit watching football, Madden had retired, so I know about yak yards.
Bad snap. It's on the carpet. Hayes picks it up. He's going to throw it one-on-one.
Wow.
Plenty of contact, and that's going to be pass interference on Sean Cook the second.
Yes, it is.
Incomplete.
15 and a first down.
He hugged him. He was dancing with him.
Yeah, they look, I'll just tell you how I saw it. They were holding hands running down the field.
Our guys aren't looking back. It's like 3 years. It's like 3 years ago. Our DBs they're not looking back.
So that moves it down to about the 42-yard line if they manage to get it marked right, and they don't. They mark it at the 43. So
high formation. Hayes under center.
28-17. Bears with a little lead.
And play action pass. Hayes rolls out far side. It's going to be complete for a first down inside the 30. That's Ransom again.
And Green again on the nice open field tackle, freshman.
Everett Ransom. 3 to go in the third. 28-17 UPIKE. Every time you think you've got some momentum, they come right back.
They do.
Ball to 29.
I don't know, Joe. I'd be surprised if this team has another winless season. I don't know.
Offset, left out of the gun. Hayes rolling near sideline. It's going to be intercepted at the 20.
Gone.
Back the other way, over the 30, the 35, and that's the second interception of the night by Cedric Thomas.
And Thomas not real happy because after he was brought down, Fiermo gave him a shove in the back. He's not happy about that at all.
Cedric Thomas might be working in on Defensive Player of the Week honors. 2:41 to go in the third, 28-17. Can the Bears make them pay? Trevon Wofford more than likely will gain another series.
Yep, he's going out. As is X Willis. So a lot of speed in that backfield right now, Joe.
Ball at the 40.
2:41 to play in period number 3, and the Bears already on top by 11.
Can they make them pay again on another turnover? 3 left, 1 right. Wofford. Hands off to Willis. Nice hole up the middle. He'll gain 7 up to the 47.
Nice job by the lineman. Nice job by X to hit the hole.
You notice how he protected the football?
Yep. We'll guess that they teach that on Pond Creek at an early age, be my guess.
UPIKE is taking control of this game now. Can they cash it in again? Jordan Owens, slot receiver inside up top. 2nd and 3, the ball at the 47. up by 11, 28-17, under 2 to go in the third. Wofford, here comes the option. He's going to keep it himself. He's got the first down. He's inside the 40. He breaks the tackle. He's off to the races. Touchdown, UPIKE, 53 yards. 34-17 Bears. 20 unanswered, pending the extra point.
That's 115 yards on 5 carries, Joe.
We have X Willis running back in the backfield. We have the X factor at quarterback. William Chandler with another point after. Alameen on the hold. Kick is up, and it is good. 35-17, 21 unanswered for the Bears. They lead at 1:45 in the third. Bears football presented by Appalachian Wireless. UPIKE, 21 unanswered. They lead it 35-17. There's a kick. It's brought down at the 10, trying to sneak his way. Going through 3 defenders, picking up about 13 extra yards to the 23-yard line. A lot of action towards the tail end of the play. That's Hines again. Trevon Wofford's gaining some, piling up some rushing yardage.
Five carries, Joe, for 115 yards.
Not too shabby.
23 yards a carry.
Just for the heck of it, I'm going to look and see. I know you're right. Gosh, you are right. It's that Miller Mustang, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Strong math skills, thanks to Ken Kinder.
1:37 remaining in the third, 35-17. Back-to-back picks have resulted in 14 of the last, or 14 of the 21 points. I formation. Let's see if this can be the play-action pass for Miles Hayes. Play-action pass. He's being flushed. He'll go down inside the 15. The sack is made.
Give 63 the sack, Joe. That's going to be Cole Kidwell.
From Harlan County.
Benham, Kentucky, brother. Only thing that would have made me happier is if that kid
fumble
would have been from Everett, Kentucky,
okay,
instead of Eustis, Florida, that I said a while ago.
2nd and 18, the ball at the 15-yard line. Under center, single back set. Here comes the handoff, and another tackle for loss. That's roughing on the carry.
I'm giving Fluker the credit for the tackle. I don't know if the stat crew will agree. It may have been Derek Northington, a redshirt sophomore from Butler High School in Louisville.
And Irvin had to crawl off the field, and he's being helped to the bench.
And let me say this again, Northington might or may not major in sport management.
3rd down, 20, the ball at the 13. I thought Irvin was celebrating while he was crawling there a little bit, but he was actually hurt.
That's yeah.
Empty backfield. Got to get off the field here. Back to pass. Hayes, plenty of time, deep over the middle. It's through the hands of one receiver. Nearly caught on the ricochet again at the 40-yard line. Incomplete. 4th down with 10.5 seconds to go in the third, and they're forced to punt.
Davion Howard was the target, Joe. But DeAndre Vickers, as you said, nearly crawled in there and caught that ball before it hit the turf. So 10.5 seconds to play in what has been a long third quarter of action.
Alexandre Willis back. Don't let that ball, if you can, get past you.
X is already standing in Livingstone's end of the field.
And here comes the punt. High end over end kick. Fair catch called for at the 43 with 4.1 seconds.
I'll take that.
Hankey's down here.
Oh, we do. So did we hit the kicker? Let's see what Mr. Whitehat has to say.
Dead ball. Unsportsmanlike conduct on Livingstone.
And against Pikeville. I mean, if you're going to call offsetting penalties, just keep them in your pocket. What's the point? Of course, that is unsportsmanlike. If you get 2 of those, they ask you to leave early. And by the way, the Bears have already had one player who was asked to leave early.
Today?
Yes.
Does that mean leave early? Does that mean stay off the field at the beginning of the next game?
Yes, unless we can get something done about that, because Kelly seemed to think that it was a fairly bogus call.
All right, first down at 10, the ball at the 43-yard line, 3 receivers left. Read option. Here comes the running back inside the 40-yard line. That's a new back for UPIKE, the last play of the quarter. Tellis Kennedy, the second from Fairfield, Ohio. He's a veteran. Heading into the fourth quarter, your score, UPIKE 35-17 for Livingstone. Bears football is presented by Appalachian Wireless.
15 minutes to play now, and what was a long third quarter of play was a very productive third quarter of play for the Bears, who are now on top 35-17 as we reach the fourth quarter of play. And Bears have the ball on the Livingstone 41-yard line, second down and 8. And the quarterback staying in the game is Trayvon Wolford for the Bears.
I want to say this on August the 30th, all right, after this
it.
play. Second and 8 at the 41-yard line.
I hope it's still August the 30th.
Yeah.
When they run this.
Read option. Quarterback keeps it himself. He's got daylight inside the 35. Lower the shoulder, baby, down to the 30. First down, UPIKE. That's horseman style.
That's 11 yards on that carry. 6 carries for 126. And I'll tell you what, Joe, this doesn't happen very often. The Bears have the rare occurrence of a 100-yard rusher and a 100-yard receiver because Clark has 5 catches for 113.
Here's the thing. I don't have to suck up to Kelly, all right, but he's the hardest working AD in the Mid-South Conference.
He's wearing it out
tonight,
no question about it.
I don't know how much pay he's getting extra, but he's earned it, baby. I might have to renegotiate, you know what I'm saying, for him? All right, back to pass. Wofford, he's flushed. He's scrambling. He's inside the 20. He breaks the tackle, and he reminds me of A.J. Graham, out of bounds. First down, UPIKE.
He's a big dude.
That play is good enough for another Giovanni's and UPIKE first down.
And he's racking up. He's, flirting with 150?
Yeah, right now, if you're Al Holland Jr., probably what he would love to see out of his quarterback is runs like that and then stay in bounds. Of course, the clock's running now again, but it did stop there for 30 seconds or so.
First down, 10, the ball to 20. 35-17 UPIKE, 14-10 to go in the game. 3 right, 1 receiver left. Back to pass is Wofford. He's going to go over the middle, end zone. Touchdown UPIKE! We found ourselves a quarterback, folks.
Duke Ferguson, Joe. The sophomore from Woodruff, South Carolina.
27 unanswered now. 41-17.
Was that Ferguson on the catch? 89? Yeah, 89. Yes. Yeah. Okay.
Phillips now with the extra point.
Nope, that's not Phillips. That's Chandler.
That's Chandler, excuse me. Alamine on the hold. It's down, kicks up. Booyah's through there. 14:02 remaining. 28 unanswered for the Bears. They're opening it up. 42-17 will return. UPIKE football presented by Appalachian Wireless.
Zaniel Phillips is on the kick after the Bears go on top 42-17. It'll be taken at the 6-yard line, up the sideline. Now cutting back to the middle of the field. It's a 20. He's at the 30, untouched till he got to the 35, and he'll be brought down at about the 42-yard line. The return man is number 14, Marcus Basie Jr., a senior from Fort Worth, Texas. Good return for him up to about the 42-yard line, and that's where Livingstone will take over with 13:55.
137 on the ground, 39 through the air for Trayvon Wofford.
39 and 2 touchdowns. 3 complete passes, and 2 of them have resulted in 6 points.
13:55 remaining. 42-17, 28 unanswered for the Bears. 3 left, 1 right.
I'm going to guess, Joe, that the metrics on his passing night would be off the chart.
Hayes back to pass, one-on-one coverage, plenty of contact. That's going to be offensive pass interference. It should be.
It should. Oh, how about that shove right there?
Right in front, yeah.
Right in front of the official.
From a Livingstone player.
That's going to be against the Bears.
Have you noticed I said while you was gone, have you noticed they lost their composure since the prayer, since the prayer?
Yeah. Yeah, I think
they've come unglued.
I think you're right. How about this, Joe, for Wolford, who technically hasn't thrown an incomplete pass.
Pass interference on the Bears. And that was on the receiver.
2 out of 3, but the third one was an interception. So it was caught too, just not by the right team.
He's thrown 2 of them tonight, both to Cedric Thomas. First down 10, the ball to 42, 3 left, 1 right. Roughens the running back, left to the quarterback, Miles Hayes. Blitz shows up the middle. They're coming. They pick it up. Hayes up top, wide open, first down. Still on his feet and down to about the 27-yard line.
So that'll be about 15 yards on that game.
Corey Hall on the reception.
13:40 to play. Clock is momentarily stopped.
3 right, 1 left. Ball to 27 of the Bears. 13.5 remaining. Hayes, they move the pocket. Plenty of time. Throws over the middle. It is going to be complete. Receiver turns outside. Tackled at the 20-yard line.
Nice open field tackle there, Joe, by Jaron Broadnax. A couple times we've called that name tonight.
Reception by Khalil Hayes, freshman wide out of Fort Pierce, Florida. Second and 3 from the 20. High snap. Hayes throws up top. It's going to be through the hands of one receiver. Caught by the second one, but dislodged by the corner.
I feel fairly certain that pass was intended for number 83 Vickers, but Ransom kind of got a hand up there in the way. 3rd and 3.
And I tell you, joining the Four Horsemen Club for the Bears was Jaron Broadnax. He dislodged the football.
That was nice.
3rd and 3 from the 20. 3 left, 1 right. 13:03 remaining. 42-17 UPIKE. Here comes the blitz. It's picked up. Quarterback scrambling. He throws inside the 5. It's going to be caught. First and goal.
I'll tell you what, Joe. Cedric Thomas had every – he was really on the coverage that time. That was one of those that either one of those, the strongest guy came away with that one. Ball's at the 3-yard line, 1st and goal.
Hayes under center is going to keep it himself over left guard. He's down to the 1. 2nd down.
That grabbed hold of him and spun him around to keep him out of the end zone. 12:45 to play. Bears leading at 42-17.
If you're UPIKE, you can't relax. We saw a 34-point fourth-quarter lead evaporate from one of those Florida teams a few years ago. Twins each way. They're just spreading them out. Quarterback sneak, and that's Hayes, and he didn't get in.
There.
He's 220.
And I'll tell you, Joe, the wildest game I've ever seen the Bears play was in 2001, the first varsity season on homecoming day here against Lambeth. We were down by several touchdowns, start the 3rd quarter, and came back and won that game.
Fluker on the tackle, 3rd down and go inside the 1. Hayes is 6'3", 220. He's under center again.
He's going to keep it. Matter if we can keep him out of there. No, they're going to
toss pitch, roughing. He's hit behind the line of scrimmage, but guess what? Another missed tackle touchdown.
Strong and kept the legs churning, Joe.
Can't tackle him high.
So their quarterback is down, Joe, late getting up. But I think he's just tired. So the PAT here would pull them back within 18. I guess going for 2 would get 17. There's really not a mathematical advantage to that in football.
And we have a stoppage of play. 11:53 remaining. 42-23 Bears. Bears football presented by Appalachian Wireless.
So the coaching staff at Livingstone decided that there is a mathematical difference in 18 and 17 because 17 gets you to 2 touchdowns and a field goal. So they're going to go for 2.
They're down 42-23, still plenty of time. 11:53 remaining in the contest.
Usually you throw these, Joe, but they've had a lot of success running the football.
Back to pass is Hayes. He's flushed to the bottom. He's looking, throws it in there. One hops it incomplete. 11:53 to go. 42-23 Bears. UPIKE football presented by Appalachian Wireless.
Livingstone scored with 11:53 to play. Failed on the 2-point conversion. They're kicking to the Bears.
They're offsides all over
They
the place.
sure were.
Onside
And
kick.
It's an onside kick. It don't matter, but it went out of bounds. It'll be Bears football. So the Bears will say no thank you on the penalty. And 11:50 to play. Bears going to even the record here, barring something extraordinary, at 1-1 with Bethel coming in.
Well, I'm going to tell you something, okay? I'm going to be honest with you, amigo.
Be honest with you,
If extraordinary happens, I'll let you interview Al this week.
Let me tell you something, brother. It's already after 10. We got 12 minutes to play, and class starts at 8 in the morning no matter what time we get done here.
I'm going to Pennsylvania at 5.
So,
But you're trying to say I'm used to the long hours more?
yep.
All right.
Yep.
You know what we need to do? I saw some tickets online, $25 a piece for Kentucky. We need to go down there and watch Cats play Saturday.
I'll tell you what, Joe.
Your wife won't let you. Okay.
No, that's not it.
Yeah, come on now.
That's not it at all.
Will we ask Marsha
I'll
for
let
you?
you know.
Okay.
It ain't Marsha that don't want to make that trip.
It's you?
Yes.
Okay. We can eat at Loudon Square Buffet. All you can eat.
Look,
country
we can
cook, and
drive down there and
$8.
eat that if you want to.
You want
We don't have
to
to go watch football for that.
You want to?
No, I do not.
Well, no. You want to go eat?
No.
It's good.
Not in Lexington.
It's good. All right, here we go. 1st and 10 at midfield. There's the handoff. That's going to be Dylan Whitley. He's going to cut it inside. You know, he's got some yards in high school. He's going to gain close to 5.
Joe, I know I'm not, considering my lines of work, it's probably not a popular thing to say, but I'm just going to be honest with you.
Be honest with me. Darius Gibson back.
Football has lost its luster for me
Okay.
in many ways. Now, I love UPIKE and everything about it,
Right.
but
2nd and 6 from the 46. 2 right, 1 left. They look over. They're going to try to probably milk his clock. Still plenty of time on that clock. Everyone's set. Clock's down to 5.
I know that's what I was going to say. We still been delaying still a long time.
And Whitley breaks out of a tackle. He's got the first down. Absorbs the hit in the back inside the 35. Dylan Whitley, first down.
Raheem Coxfield.
Gibson, excuse me.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Gibson.
Raheem Coxfield, 5'11", 215 junior from Adele, Georgia. Had him by the ankle and didn't turn loose, and he might have kept 6 more points off the scoreboard right there.
Darius Gibson, number 37, he on his first carry, freshman touchdown tonight. And I tell you, he is the hole with authority. Now Dylan Whitley's back out there. 1st and 10 at the 35, 10 and a half remaining, 42-23 UPIKE.
Leslie's the wideout up top, Joe.
Read option, handoff Whitley, and Whitley just keep on going forward. Down to the 31, positive yardage, 2nd down coming up.
Keep it on the ground and stay in bounds.
Tell you, Trevon Wofford, backup quarterback, has really came in and made a statement tonight.
Joe, we're 3 hours deep into this game. Let me say this.
Yes.
For those fans out there who think by this point Rick and Joe should have announced to us what a blueberry is.
Yeah.
I've never heard of a blueberry. I've looked on both of their websites. They don't tell you.
2nd and 7 at the 31. Read option, handoff again. No, the quarterback keeper, he
And he
fakes
gone.
everybody out. Well, there's going to be a penalty flag inside the 15. Wofford's in the end zone. We'll have to see what the penalty flag is all about.
I think it's coming back. Holding
think you're
against the
right.
Bears. Yeah. But that's spot of the foul, Joe. So We'll see where the foul. So they're going to give him. So they give him to the 22 and then mark it back 10 yards. So he does get some level of gain on that, Joe, just not get 6 points.
What, second down? Second down 8 or second down situation?
Yeah.
Ball at the 33, second and 9.
What do you? I'll tell you what, Joe. And I don't mean any disrespect whatsoever to Bowen Smith, but it's amazing how this game's turned around.
Yeah. Very interesting to see who's listed at the top of the depth chart, the quarterback next week as well. 2 right, 1 left. Read option, and the running back kind of tripped over the turf monster.
I think they got their feet tangled up.
That was Gibson.
Gibson on the carry and Wofford, the quarterback.
Third down coming up.
Second down.
I tell you, I wouldn't mind Wofford maybe keeping himself, calling his own number again.
I agree.
Third down at the 34. Third down 11. Ball's actually at the 35.
It'll be interesting to see if Wofford, the university, has as many rushing yards as Wofford, the quarterback, has tonight.
Read option, handoff, breaking out of a tackle, getting down to about the 30 is going to be Whitley. Fourth down coming up.
I'll tell you, a guy who's walking off the field not too happy right now, that's Alexander Shelton.
Yeah.
The wideout, because he was the only person in the backfield, and if they just flipped it over the line, he could have crawled into the end zone for 6 points. And we're lining up to go for it here, Joe. You don't punt from the 31, and that's 50-yard. I'd let him call his own number here, Joe.
Fourth down coming up, and 8. 8.5 minutes remaining in the game. 42-23, UPIKE with the commanding lead.
3 seconds.
Read option, and quarterback's going to keep himself. He dances out of trouble. He's got the first down or more. Inside the 15, the 10. 1 man to beat. 5. Touchdown, UPIKE. 30 yards out.
2 guys had him dead to rights, 1 in the backfield, 1 at the line, and he just danced through both of them and gone. That was the equivalent of X's run last week. My estimation, 30 yards for the touchdown.
Well, I think we know who's going to be number 1 quarterback next week.
Al Sr., who will be quick to tell you, I was a basketball coach, but he just echoed what you said minutes ago. I think we found us a quarterback.
Yeah. William Chandler with the extra point, 48-23, 8:18 remaining. We'll get his updated stats in a second. And there's the block, and I think they were offsides.
They got flags all over the house out there. So,
ball's still loose over there, and they're still letting it go.
Well, if we pick it up and get it in the end zone, then you can wave off all those flags.
Right. And let's see what the going to have to retry the extra point.
I'll be honest with you, Joe.
Personal foul, Livingstone.
Personal foul. Chandler, Joe, we might go for it here. Although probably not. Chandler went through with the kicking motion. I'm just glad he didn't get hurt.
So they'll have to decide what to do here. But, I mean, he just eluded like 3 guys.
Yeah.
And he's physical. He's wiry, but he's physical. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's not afraid of contact.
He's from Cedartown, Georgia. And they're going to just decline the penalty and retry the extra point. Elamine, hold down, kick up, it's good. 8:18 remaining in this one, 49-23. UPIKE Bears football is presented by Appalachian Wireless.
So Trevon Wolford, the quarterback, 8 carries for 168. That's 21 yards a tote and 2 touchdowns. And 3 out of 4 with 2 touchdowns for 39 yards.
I tell you, here comes the kickoff. I'll mention that after this. Across the 6, going across the far sideline over to 20. 25.
Oh, nice.
Around the 28-yard line. I think
nice tackle on that comeback, Joe, by Shannon Kozar. Go ahead.
Cedric Thomas will more than likely be nominated for the Defensive Player of the Week in the division with 2 interceptions, and the quarterback, Trevon Wofford, will be more than likely nominated for the Offensive Player of the Week. And that is by division now.
Yes, it is. So there's in the Mid-South, there's 3 divisions. So there's 3 Offensive Players of the Week, 3 Defensive Players of the Week, and 3 Special Teams Players of the Week. So Livingstone has it at the 28 with 8:09 to play. And a 49-23 lead.
Got 3 receivers bunched to the bottom. UPIKE was showing blitz. False start on Livingstone. Tony Medina, who has a horseman-style hit tonight, was made him flinch.
Let me tell you.
You think the quarterback can join the 4 Horseman Club now?
Let me tell you something, Joe.
Yeah.
It's time to get this game over with.
1st and 15 at the 23. When I'm gone, I mean, I hope your next broadcast partner
will carry me like you do.
No, has old school wrestling skills. Running around, and that's going to be a sack back inside the 20-yard line. Down goes Hayes.
Andre Williams, a 6'3", 250-pound redshirt junior from Doss High School in Louisville. And that was a pretty impressive little hit right there. He hit that quarterback, and he stayed hit.
Back at the 15-yard line. Second down and long. Second down, about 23. Back to pass is Hayes. Here comes the pressure up deep over the middle. It's going to be complete, breaking out of 1 tackle and getting it to about the 30-yard line. Third and manageable. The reception is made by Livingstone's Corey Hall.
So it'll be 3rd and 8 for Livingstone. Clock continues to move with 7:12 showing on it now. A moving 4th quarter clock.
3 receivers to the bottom, 1 up top. Hayes back to pass, steps up, being flushed out of the pocket. Buying time, he's going to chug it out of bounds. Incomplete. 6:55 remaining. 49-23 UPIKE.
Here comes the punting unit.
Watch the fake. You're down by 26.
I'd be stunned if they fake it, Joe, down by 26. You don't want to put that on film for your opponents the rest of the year.
High, short punt.
Oh.
And Willis called for the fair catch, had to weave his way through 3 defenders to make it. And he made that catch high at the 44.
So 6:46 to play. Bears get the football near midfield, 44-yard line. On top, 49-23, and look for the backs to carry the way here, in my estimation. And we may change quarterbacks here, Joe.
Trevon Wofford, he came in. I tell you, he was the game changer in this one. And Wofford is out.
Quarterback number 12.
And more than likely, he will be the starting quarterback.
So Jalil El Amin, Joe, I'm sorry to interrupt you. Jalil El Amin, who's been the holder on kicks, is going to get his first time at quarterback here for the Bears, a freshman from Duluth, Georgia.
Just don't want any fumbles right now. Just some good execution. 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Hand off, play action pass going up top, jump ball, and pass interference is going to be called on Livingstone.
That's all fine and dandy, but I'm still surprised we're throwing the football in this situation.
And he made the catch, Alexander Shelton. Now, if he was in bounds,
I think they're saying no.
boy,
but it does get you down into the Livingstone end of the field, Joe.
We have seen a lot of PIs the first 2 weeks of the regular season, especially tonight. Well, you know what we've done? You know what we haven't done since early in the 3rd quarter? We haven't grabbed about the defense and unable to stop anybody on 3rd and 4th downs.
How that happens, ain't it?
Yeah.
Joe, that penalty will be the 14th against Wofford and or against Livingstone, and 11 against. That's 25 penalties that haven't been waived off in this football game. 25.
Ball at the 41, 1st and 10, 6:41 remaining.
And I know it's early. I get that. A lot of that's on the officials, man. That's a lot of.
Taylor Kennedy in the backfield. I agree with you, Rick. Read action. Here comes the running back, Kennedy, and he's going to be thrown for a loss.
That's going to be Zachary Kupka, who is a 6 foot, 202-pound senior from Riverside, California. On the nice tackle there for our friends from Livingstone.
Shannon Cozart now in the backfield. Raekwon Birch from Douglas, Georgia in the backfield as well. 2nd and 12, 43-yard line.
2 wide to the right, 1 to the left, and the ball is pert near in the middle of the field, Joe.
Offset eye in the gun. Well, at least there'll be a happy post-game interview with Al Holland Jr. tonight.
Yes, it should be.
And let's see, delay a game, and they should have called it delay a game, but they give UPIKE the timeout, but that's a break. 5:45 remaining, 49-23 Bears. Bears football presented by Appalachian Wireless.
Yeah, I know. 5:45 to play. Bears lead at 49-23, and it's 2nd and 12, JoJo.
James McCoy pushing the buttons tonight, earning that overtime, baby. And there's the handoff to the fullback that time, Dylan Wheatley. And Wheatley is going to pick up a few yards down to the 41.
About to the original line of scrimmage.
You want ball security here. 5.5 to go, 49-23 UPIKE. Going to go to 1-1 on the season.
Coach Holland will add to his number as the winningest coach, Joe, in school history. He set that mark last year, I'm sorry.
He said it made him all sick. He had to watch that film last week. Down to 5. Down to 3. Back to pass. Alabama hit as he throws. He completes it for a first down inside the 20-yard line, and the catch is made by Shannon Cozart.
That was a nice throw right there, Joe, because
took the punishment, baby.
He saw it coming. There was nothing he could do about it. He stood in there, delivered the pass, and took the blow. Hats off to him.
James Frills, 6'2", 190, wide receiver from Powell, Tennessee in the game. Kennedy's the running back. Again, Alameen is the quarterback. 1st and 10 to 20, 4.5 to go. That was a nice throw as he got lit up like a Christmas tree. 2 wide each way. Counter. Quarterback keeps it himself. That's Alameen. He's got the first down or more. He's all the way down to the 6-yard line, 1st and goal.
I'm impressed with him, Joe.
Hey, I want to give a shout-out, if I can, listening to the broadcast tonight on the radio, assistant football coach at Tug Valley, Justin Crawford. He comes over here, and when UPIKE had the 7-on-7 and stuff, he comes over here and he supports the Bears. Unable to do so tonight because of course, high school football practice, but he's listening to us.
Well, we're glad to have Justin and all the rest of our listeners out there. So good luck to you the rest of the season, Coach.
1st down and goal at the 6. He's the archery coach at Tug Valley.
How about that?
Kelly asked him, he said, you have any good, got any nice archers, because Kyle Evans came from Tug Valley, who's on the national championship team for UPIKE. 1st goal at the 6. And we have a whistle. Delay game. They'll back it back to the 11 with 3:39 remaining, 49-23.
I hate to complain because if it's a delay game, it's a delay game. But good Lord, how many penalties you going to throw?
After watching these penalties tonight in the victory, I might have to go celebrate that 10-pound banana split tomorrow. I won't make my delivery first, though.
Yeah, you better.
Yeah.
That's at least 25 penalties.
First down, goal, 11-yard line. 3 right, 1 left. Read option. Quarterback keeps it. Nope. He's faking me out more than anybody else. Dylan Whitley's going to get a couple down to the 9.
3 minutes and 12 seconds away from the first win of the season.
And they got somebody cramping. We haven't seen a lot of that tonight.
That's a surprise.
Yeah.
Because it is humid.
I drank 7 bottles of water right near kickoff.
You're like a camel. Take in all that fluid.
That's the most.
Walk the desert, baby. You can do it.
Feel like Death Valley up
here. You could go out there, go walk up the hill at Bob Amos like I've seen you do many times.
Not anymore. Second to go at the 9. That banana split's got me tore up. Offset eye right.
You better go walk that hill if you're going to go eat that thing.
If I'm not diabetic, I'll turn into one after tomorrow.
I hear you.
Yeah. They got a $20 breakfast up there, too, served on a garbage can.
I could eat $20 of biscuits and gravy, I'll tell you that much.
And here comes the handoff to Kennedy. He's weaving his way, and he's going to find his way down to about the 5-yard line. Third down coming up. Goal.
I know, Joe, you always feel better after a win.
Yeah.
But really, this second half and the show we've seen out of Wofford, the backup quarterback.
Yeah.
Man, I'm going to tell you. Feel a little better about this team all of a sudden.
Oh, yes, I do. There's a little one down there sleeping.
Yep. I think that's Coach Junior.
Out like a light. Yep. Third down and goal. Ball near the 5-yard line.
Teddy looks like he just woke up from a nap.
Yeah. Here comes the counter play to Whitley. Fullback. Nothing there. Fourth down.
What do you do, Joe? Fourth and goal, you're going to go for it.
Take a knee.
You take a knee?
Yeah.
Yeah, I might do that too.
49-23, 90 seconds remaining.
You're going to get it down to under a minute or there right at a minute when you snap it. And
they might practice field goal.
They are going to. So it should be 23 yards, a little more than an extra point.
Was he 1 for 3 last week on field goals?
I think
they're going to have to burn a timeout.
He was. They got 4 seconds, and he's just now getting in position. 3. Yep.
Yeah, they had to call a timeout because they had a lineman come out late and a penalty flag. Kick was good. Legal substitution on UPIKE.
Substitution, yeah.
Back 5 yards.
Yeah.
58.8 seconds remaining in this one, and UPIKE can hit 50 right here.
And there may or may not have been too many orange jerseys out there because we had somebody come off the field and we didn't have anybody go on.
There's a couch up there, DKB. I bet you Teddy did take a nap.
So 28 yards on the try now for Chandler.
Holds down, kick is up, and it's plenty of leg enough, and it's going to be good. UPIKE joins the 50-point club. 53 seconds remaining. They're ahead, 52-23. Bears football is presented by Appalachian Wireless.
There we go.
All right, 53.8 seconds remaining. UPIKE ahead, 52-23.
I like that squib kick.
Yeah, brought down at the 20, over to 30. Don't like the special teams coverage. Hit around the 41-yard line.
Well, that tackle will go to our boy Josh Green from Palm Harbor, Florida.
Ramel Harris Freeman, kickoff returner. Well, I tell you what.
Nice return for him, by the way.
The Phelps Hornets, the David Jones's motto is field the plate. Well, they actually filled the plate today at that barbecue on Facebook.
I like it. I like it.
Ball to 41. 47.3 seconds remaining.
David Jones and I got ran off the field at Cardinal Stadium after a championship game.
Pistol formation. New quarterback. There's a handoff to Ruffin. He bounces outside, and he's going to be tackled. Loss on the play of 1.
Ruffin on the tackle. They don't have to snap the ball again, Joe. So let's see if they choose to.
So UPIKE's going to go to 1-1 on the year. We'll hear from Al Holland Jr. coming up after the conclusion of this one.
They are not going to snap the football again, Joe. So the Bears are going to leave with a win here tonight. 1-0 on the season after a 52-23 win over our friends from Salisbury, North Carolina, who represent Livingstone. And we wish them well on their drive home and the rest of their football season. And the Bears get to 1-1 on the season with a 52-23 win. We'll be back in 3 minutes to give you stats, highlights, our Community Trust Bank player of the game, and Coach Al Holland Jr. You listen to UPIKE Football is presented by Appalachian Wireless.